that I stream this, of course, because if I were to use, say, an incorrect American, like, silly dating system, it would literally be 428 right now. Um, which is, what better excuse could I have? I should tweet it out. Alright, so trying to remember where we'll. Oh yeah. So Kano messed up his investigation because he was distracted by the old man and his daughter. And we have dead ends and bad ends for everyone. So now is the decision of whose I want to fix first. And the easiest one to fix is obviously this one. So I am going to respect our cockroach overlords and not get into a fight with them. I snatch up the cardboard box and make a run for it. But also, let's see what happens if we split up. Even though we end up splitting up anyway. We should split up. Cheery and I go our separate ways, searching for a truck full of junk. I make my way to Center Guy. I'm so focused on searching all over as I walk that I lose track of where I'm sighting, and wind up bumping into a man who's hurrying along with his daughter. We did this last time, but I didn't have this option. Teru and Hana Toyama. They came to Center Guy to eat lunch. Before that, they were in Heaven Publishing in Shibuya 1 Shome. While wandering around distractedly, looking for somewhere cheap and tasty, Mr. Toyama bumped right into Tama. Wait, I forgot that that's Minorikawa's boss. I totally forgot. Well, like, he's up somewhere. Oh, pardon me. I hop back to my feet and bow to the man in apology. Ow! Wait, I can't skip this yet. He bows at the same time and we manage to bonk our heads together. Sorry. As her dad drops to his knees, clutching his head, the girl begins to wander off. Hey, Hannah, wait! The man lurches to his feet and rushes after the girl. She seems like an odd kid, only 10 or so, but strangely cold and distant for her age. Nursing my own sore head, I make it all the way back to Shibuya Station, but there's no sign of the truck. I'll probably never find it by wandering around randomly. It's already 12:35. The sales demo starts in 25 minutes. I have serious doubts I'll be able to find the truck by then. I still can't skip it. Ah! What should I do? Well, it ended differently. So now with this in mind, we go back to Achi. Hang on. Does it let me jump yet? Just then, a little bit of light shone into the alleyway from above. It looked like someone on the adjacent building's upper floor had turned on the lights. I will not do that just yet. I'm not sure what I would need to do that. The Nokane building. This multi-tenant building has 7 floors, but a decade-old urban legend tells of a mysterious 13th floor. A diet aid sales demo is being held on one of the upper floors today. The light illuminated on Hitomi's face. When Archie saw the look in her eyes, he reconsidered his decision. She was trying her hardest to hide it, but she was clearly terrified. No way was he letting her go back out there alone. Still, if he tried to insist, she would only refuse him again. Hitomi, humor you for a second here. Tell me, what's the proper way to dispose of a place? Okay, I can skip this bit. I can't. Wait. Okay then. Okay? If you're really that sure about it, I guess I could use your help for a little while longer. Hitomi flashed him a little smile. Man, she's so cute, Archie thought. Sneaking out from the alley, Archie and Hitomi began to make their way along to the side streets back to Jogenzaka. It was a pretty big detour compared to the main thoroughfares, but that would be worth it if it meant they avoided the man with the cane. Archie looked over at Hitomi as she walked alongside him. Her face was solemn. He could feel the intensity of her worry for her sister. Oh, well, look who's gotten himself a little cutie. That's not actually him talking. Hi, Raiders. Hope you're having a good day, night, afternoon, etc., etc., etc. And actually, I did pop into the stream briefly, just lurking. How was the game? Machinarium, I think it was. I can't remember. The sudden call startled him. He spun around. Yo, Mean Clit, over here! Archie spotted the young man up ahead, sneering at him. At his side were 2 others. Archie recognized the lot. SOS. Hitomi let out a nervous squeak. Archie! Don't worry about them. That is a sentence that I'm not sure it is a sentence, but I'm even more confused now. He led her onward, attempting to stride right past the trio. It did look cute when I saw it. Whoa, hey now, you just gonna ignore me? That's pretty damn rude, coming especially from someone who used to be an old buddy. The 3 toughs moved to the bar in Archie's path. That's fair enough. Ooh, she is hella fine. Come, ain't you gonna introduce us? Extremely attractive. The etymology of hella is somewhat unclear, but its meaning is undisputed. Very, a lot of, totally, and the like. Potential synonyms for hella fine include mighty fine, fine as hell, and bangin'. Sorry man, Archie said. I'm in a bit of a hurry here. He gave them a tepid smile. If you've seen the stream yesterday, all you've missed is that I decided to wisely not pick a fight with a cockroach, and so now I'm seeing where Archie would go if Hitomi lived. A big hurry, huh? Where to? Some love hotel in Maruyamacho? Oh, wait, I mean the most recent stream, which was on Thursday, I think it was. Too rich, another chimed in. She a screamer, Archie? Archie? Take a stereotypical way to poke fun at a would-be amorous couple. Now take Archie's name. There you go. They burst out howling like a gang of monkeys. One of them cackled like a grinning idiot. Ha! Archie! 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 Archie felt his anger boil. I mean, you know I had to do it to him. These guys were in a sore need of a major ass kicking. Archie stepped up to the ringleader. The tough dropped to the ground with a dull thud. Oh, sorry, that was terribly rude of me. Archie kept his tone light and jovial, but he eyed the others like a hawk, eyeing its prey. Is he going to be alright? Hitomi murmured. Hey, Oya. She looked at the man Archie had laid out with some concern. Ah, he'll be fine. If that's all it took to knock him out, he's got no right to act all badass. Archie, huh? I don't believe I've had the pleasure. A taller man, with an angry gleam in his eyes, had appeared atop the steps nearby. He must have turned up during the commotion. Oh no, I have to think of another voice. He radiated a distinct aura of menace. That's me, Archie said. And just who are you? For once, it was someone he didn't recognize. The name's Yoji Kiryu. Used to roll with a gang from Ikebukuro until a few months ago, known as the Killer Way of Bukuro. He answered any and all resistance with his fists. His crazy antics led to him being kicked out of the gang, however, and lately he's been hanging around Shibuya. I joined up with SOS after you left. Wait. The newcomer. No, now I'm Susumu's number 2 guy. The newcomer stared at Archie's face, sizing him up. Our legendary founder. I've heard so much about you. The founder. It had been a long time since anyone had called him that. There'd been a bunch of arguing over who would take charge of the new group that was forming to set things straight in Shibuya. At some point, folks had started hailing him as the force behind SOS. But founder? That was just something his buddies called him. He never paid it much heed. Shibuya was a place for fun, not hierarchies. To be fair, I'm not the only one who was drawing cockroaches. At least in Archie's mind, that was how it ought to be. Like how you busted up some mean old drug dealers, rescued your pals from Yakuza bondage. Here, bondage is strictly used in the sense of captivity. Any other types of Yakuza bondage will not be featured in this game. Sorry if the tip flick here got your hopes up. Well, I'm glad that they knew what they were doing. You're a real hero. Kiryu's tongue flicked from his mouth like a snake's. Wait a minute. Just a moment. Oh yeah, that is why you said Kazuma. I was thinking, wait, it's Kiryu. It's like Yakuza. I also, whenever I think of Kiryu, I think of Moeka. Kiryu's tongue flicked from his mouth like a snake's. Hitomi shuddered. Archie couldn't blame her for being creeped out. And he's literally Yakuza in this. But that's all in the past now, isn't it? Kiryu continued. You went modestly on your way. It's up to us now. And we've helped SOS grow by leaps and bounds to help carry on your legacy, no matter who stands in our way. That thought didn't sit right with Archie. Well, if we have to challenge him to a game of pool, I reckon I'm in a good chance here. If aggressive expansion was the name of the game, the gang was losing touch with its roots. It wasn't about keeping Shibuya safe and fun anymore. Wait. Make SOS bigger, huh? He said. I'm guessing that was Susumu's call as well. Kiryu didn't answer his question. His mouth merely twisted into a knowing sneer. In any event, I think these boys here need a little lesson in manners. The guillotine ought to do the trick. A capital punishment device invented in 18th century France. The condemned is executed by decapitation by means of a heavy blade that descends from above, named for physician Joseph Ignace Guillotine, who advocated its use to the National Assembly. Both King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were executed by guillotine. The other gang members started an alarm. Also, oh yeah, I finished Opus Magnum today. That last mission took me like an hour and a half, and my solution is horrible. Whoa, hey, just calm down, man. Please, anything but the guillotine. Kiryu pointedly ignored their pleas. Whoa, hey, what's the guillotine? Archie asked. Kiryu smirked. The guillotine is the guillotine. With me, worms. Without a glance back, Kiryu strolled away. His two underlings followed him unhappily. Archie wondered what lay in store for them, but right now he had more important things to worry about. Come on, let's go. He took Hitomi by the hand, and they were back on their way. I don't know how if I'll do all the bonus stuff, which I need to for an achievement, so maybe I will. But like, what I've seen of them look really difficult for me. Oh, Hitomi perked up. That's me. She reached into her pocket and pulled out her cell phone. Huh? She stared at the screen with consternation. I have done 90 games of it so far. What is it? She asked. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Who's Mr. Tanaka? He works with my father. I'm not sure what I should do. Wait, is Mr. Tanaka that old guy? Everything is connected, but I've already forgotten his name. Archie remembered the criminal had warned her against contacting her family or the police. She seemed reluctant to even open this message. I'm sure it's fine to just read an email, he said. And besides, he's not the police and he's not your family. Wait, is he? Oh, so he's the detective. I was thinking he was the old guy with his daughter. I can't remember everyone's names. Wait, but he is a detective, I thought. Yeah, you're right. Oh. Hitomi scanned the message anxiously. I need to rewatch my own VODs, clearly. Sounds like he's worried about me, she said. Then does he know about the kidnapping? Yes, I know. My father trusts him. And he's always been so... Hitomi cut herself short. Still, it was clear to Archie that she and this Tanaka person had some sort of close relationship. Oh yeah, I think I'm just getting mixed up with the other guy. I wonder if it's safe for me to let him know what the situation is. I think it should be, Archie told her. I mean, the kidnappers aren't just gonna know you sent an email, right? Well, I mean, unless they're working with CERN. Hitomi began typing out a response. Archie watched over her, wild speculations running through her mind. Considering the briefcase shenanigans, maybe they are working with CERN. There was no way a mild-mannered young lady like her could be dating one of her father's co-workers, was there? I will not jump just yet. Right now, she's about to change history by sending this text. Unless she was all about finding herself a sugar daddy. No, he was being ridiculous. Archie banished the thought from his mind. Besides, Hitomi's personal life wasn't the problem right now. The problem was that cycle of the cane and the gun. Is something wrong? Hitomi asked. She finished sending her email. Oh no, nothing. Nothing at all. Archie did his best to look nonchalant. It was a good thing she couldn't read his mind. They exited Center Guy and resumed their approach towards Dogenzaka by way of Maruyamacho. Maruyamacho. There are many hotels in Maruyamacho. These are not ordinary establishments, but rather the sort of hotel where two people who are so inclined might redact it. A couple heading to this kind of place in the early afternoon would, without a doubt, be assumed to be bent on redacted. You might be wondering whether an option for these two to get up to mischief will appear in a selection prompt. Well, don't get your hopes up. This isn't that kind of game. These tips have gone places today. Another long detour to decrease their odds of running into the gunman. They made an unlikely pair. Scruffy Archie, limbs lackadaisically swinging to hide his embarrassment, and the brisk, purposeful Hitomi. Archie found himself watching her out of the corner of his eyes. I'm pretty sure redacted was what Osawa and his assistant were doing in the bathroom. Or it's what no, it's message deleted to meet US standards or something like that. Hey Hitomi, mind if I ask you something? Sure, go ahead. Okay, so like, I realize this might be a weird question, but he put on a serious face. What does the eco in eco-friendly mean? Huh? Like, I know it's about helping the earth and all, but I don't know what it really means, you know? Hitomi thought for a moment. I'm pretty sure it's short for the English word ecology, which is the science of examining the relationship between man and nature. A subset of biology that deals with the reciprocal relationship between organisms and their environment. Nowadays the term can refer to the cultural and social effects on the global environment. The latter usage can be broad and imprecise, making the exact meaning somewhat difficult to define. Of course! But what if it's just the economy? Like, it... Oh right, redacted. Pleased with himself, Archie chatted on excitedly. A faint smile crept back onto Hitomi's face. Say, you ever hear about the clean river here in Shibuya? A clean river? In Shibuya? Really? Ask 100 youngsters outside of Shibuya Station the same question, and you'd probably get that same answer 100 times. Yeah, the Shibuya River, you know, the drainage channel we saw earlier. Wait, that's the clean river you're talking about? By no reasonable definition was the Shibuya River what anyone would call clean. That's the one! Archie grinned at her confusion. See, the river used to be clean a long time ago. I read it about in this book called Science Strikes Back. A popular monthly magazine, abbreviated SSB. Super Bear? The series has been running for 29 years now, but the Strike Back appendix is still immensely popular with children. A woman who handles the home deliveries is known as the SSB lady, and children wait excitedly on the 25th of each month for her to make her run. That is a much more obvious thing to say. All I can see is like the TV channel SBS. I used to have that book, Hitomi chirped with her eyes wide with excitement, but realizing that I can't do this voice in any excited manner. You're talking about that bit with the river that got turned into a song, right? The famous 1912 song Haru no Ogawa, The Spring Brook, with lyrics by Tatsuyuki Takano and the music by Teiichi Okano. It is said that the song was inspired by the view of the upper course of the Shibuya River during Takano's childhood. In the modern day, there is a stone monument bearing the song's lyric along with the Oraku line between Yoyogi Hachiman and Sangyubashi. Yeah, that's the one. You read it too. I did. Archie felt a giddy rush at this unexpected connection they shared. Imagine if there was still a clean, beautiful river here in Shibuya. It'd be the perfect place for taking a romantic stroll. Hitomi looked up at Archie. She seemed to share his joy in this idea. Wouldn't it be amazing, Archie said, if that dirty little channel could be clean like it used to be? It would. Maybe as amazing as the look on Hitomi's face right now, Archie thought. Hitomi, tell me some more ecology stuff. Hit me with whatever you got. She seemed happy to oblige, and so as they walked along, Hitomi explained the bits of knowledge she'd picked up over the years. Archie was quiet, hanging on her every word. The return to Dogenzaka became an impromptu environmentalism lecture. Hitomi continued until she'd exhausted her dialogue. I just don't get it, Archie grumbled, when she paused at last. I mean, why is it a bad thing if this planet gets warmer? Wouldn't that make the winter in places like Hokkaido way easier? No, you see, because if the whole planet gets warmer, it'll cause the whole ecosystem to collapse. Archie racked his brain. And the ecosystem is what again? Is that like a solar system? Archie, you clean the streets for a living. Why are you this dumb? Images of the cosmos filled his imagination. No, not really, Hitomi said. So is it more like a sound system that... Archie, go home. Not really. Oh, but anyway, you're saying the problem is with the, what was it again? Carbon dioxide. Yeah, that stuff. I'm gonna have to cut down on that. Sure. I don't know. That settles it, Archie declared proudly. No more soda for me. Soda? Hitomi asked. Yeah, it's carbonated, right? Hitomi burst out laughing. What? I'm serious. You don't think I can do it? I'm sorry, Hitomi said, catching her breath. It's just... Yeah, something happened to Archie's brain in the past hour. Maybe, like... This is what happens when you don't encounter a cockroach. Like, your mind doesn't develop. Her face froze, her mirth abruptly vanishing. She realized that she probably wasn't safe with this idiot. Oh, no. Huh? Archie stared at her face in alarm. What is it? Oh. He turned his attention in the direction Hitomi was looking. The man with the cane was bearing down on them. Somehow Archie didn't see it. No, but Archie didn't touch the cockroach, so it's okay. Oh, come on! You have got to be kidding me! He grabbed Hitomi's hand and ran. The only thing he's smart enough to do, apparently. This time, he headed for the main road, hoping to get lost in the crowd. Hitomi struggled to keep up. She was exhausted after all their earlier running. You can do it, he told her. The guy's got a cane. We can outrun him. The assassin was still hurrying after them. Once we get around the next corner, we'll be out on the main road. Yeah, okay. She strained to get the words out. Bit by bit, her feet were slowing down. It was another 50 meters or so to the main road. Archie realized that they might get caught before they got there. Maybe like he's archery. Sorry, Hitomi, he exclaimed, but I gotta do this. He scooped her up in his arms. Yeah. By the time that squeak had escaped from her mouth, Archie was already running for that. I apologize to anyone who is not down with this scribblio meta. We are talking nonsense. Archie, please put me down. Don't worry, you're super light. Archie glanced back and saw the assassin, now far behind, break off his pursuit. But just as they rounded the corner, he heard the man call out to him. Archie almost stopped on reflex. Hold on. Did he just shout my name? How the heck does he know my name? It's not like I'm the leader of I was once the leader of a famous gang. Or like my name is the name of a shop. Maybe those gang leaders he beat up spread his name. Quaking with unease, Archie slipped into the crowd. Archie, could you please set me down now? A meek voice pulled him from his panic. Huh? He looked down at the girl in his arms. People in the crowd all around them were watching and chuckling. I mean, I'm really happy you saved me and all, but being carried around like this is, Her tummy was blushing beet red, but Archie's expression had gone pale. Archie, wait. Had he really heard that right? That was what it sounded like. He set Hitomi back on her feet, and then used his shirt sleeve to wipe the sweat from his face. You okay? Hitomi asked. When we were running just now, did that guy say anything? Not that I heard, no. Huh. Had he just imagined it then? Maybe. Archie was sure he didn't recognize the man. There's something weird about that guy though, Hitomi remembered. She furrowed her brow. No matter where we run, he keeps catching up to us. It's almost like he knows where we're going. She was right. Finding a particular pair of people in a place as big as Shibuya bordered on the impossible, especially when you're doing that quest in the middle of Persona 5 and you have to find that one person speaking gossip and you run around the train station like 5 times and realize you went the wrong way. And yet, somehow, the assassin had managed to track them down several times now. Yeah, Archie said. It's like he's got some way of locating us or something. He got a sudden idea. Maybe he should stop wearing, a high-vis jacket. That's it. What if they're doing the whole tracking thing, but like backwards? What? Hitomi's eyes widened. Okay, so you know how in the police shows they always stick a tracking device in the bag with the ransom money? Like that, but backwards. Okay, so backwards isn't the right way to describe this, but Archie doesn't realize that. He does seem to know what a tracking device is at least. A radio transmission that can be located by the signal it emits. The Japanese police sometimes refer to this as a beeper, not to be confused with the English slang term beeper, meaning a pager. Seriously, like, Archie has just gotten 10 times stupider this time. Also, no, I don't have coronavirus. Backwards? Yeah, like, instead of putting the tracker on the money, they put it on you. Hitomi frowned. I don't see how I could possibly have a tracker on me, she said. I mean, I'm just wearing my clothes from home. Oh. Well then how is he doing it then? Barely a moment passed from the moment he got the words out of his mouth. Once again, the man with the cane stepped out on the road ahead of him. I mean, I'm just saying, Archie kind of stands out in this crowd. The least he could do is commit to it like Sasayama and, like, I don't know, dress like a sumo wrestler. It did seem as if he'd known exactly where they were going to be. Oh, hey, waiting. We are in the cockroach-free timeline, or at least the cockroach has not been accelerated in its movement. We have no idea where the cockroach is now. Maybe that's even more scary. How the hell is this happening? Archie groaned. To be fair, your Tarzan looks like a windmill. No, the cockroach is still alive. Yeah, exactly. Or, he reached for Hitomi's waist, ready to pick her up again. It's okay. It's okay. I can run by myself. More like Schrodinger's, who is speaking. Archie took her by the hand instead and raced into another alley. What? I hope maybe the cockroach is just going to save the day. He's going to stop the man with the cane. This guy will just not give up. At the far end of the alley, he could see a forklift parked behind a pile of cardboard boxes. Oh wait. Sorry, I gotta do it. There we go. Hang on. This is what's his name? This is like Ota's Somnium, isn't it? But yes, I'm down with the forklift. This ends now. But wait, does it count as an interior wall if we're outside? Like, we're not really indoors? Wait, what's the definition of indoors? Archie leapt into the forklift and hit the ignition. The engine roared to life. He lowered the forks and stepped onto the accelerator, picking up the pallet of cardboard boxes as he charged toward the man with the cane. The tower of boxes struck the man with a thud. That guy was just like rabbit in the headlights. I actually kept accelerating, driving him back a good 10 meters or so. The gunman let out a low grunt at the impact. Archie then hit the brake, shifted back into reverse, and hit the gas again, backing up as fast as he could. The boxes crashed down in a heap, burying the assassin underneath. Steal his gun. Several small bottles spilled from the broken cardboard and shattered on the pavement. Oh wait, if you steal his cane, does he become immobile, or does he become more immobile because he realized he never needed the cane? Or he just wants his cane back? Hey, what the hell are you doing? A middle-aged man in a sanitation uniform had come running at the sound of the forklift. Sorry man, gotta run, Archie exclaimed as he jumped from the vehicle. And don't forget to recycle that glass! He took Hitomi's hand and sprinted away down the alleyway. The sanitation worker glowered after him, then turned and gazed despondently at the jumbled pile of boxes and broken glass. Oh, by the way, waiting, you have not seen like the extent to which Archie has become an absolute moron in this hour. Like, more so than usual. It is impressive. He thought the ecosystem was like a sound system. And need I say more? Their rugged breathing echoed through the maze of side streets. All that work just to wind up fleeing for their lives. Wait. Archie ground his teeth in frustration. There are two main types of teeth grinding. 1. The subconscious act of gritting one's teeth together while asleep. 2. Gritting one's teeth together as a response to anger and frustration. Here we have an example of 2. At roughly the same time, Minoru Minorikawa is grinding his teeth trying to keep to his schedule. Hitomi, he groaned when they slowed down to catch his breath at last. I'm so sorry. Hitomi was nonplussed. Sorry? Whatever for? I keep saying how I'm going to help you, but instead I just keep putting you in danger. I'm going to teleport Perfect Cell to a planet and blow up, so we're all safe forever. Actually, no. If you hadn't been with me, I'm sure I'd already be. No. She hurried to cut her off before she could finish. Don't go there, please. He sighed and then spoke again more quietly. I just want to help you. Clenching a fist, he looked up at the sky. There was not a cockroach to be seen. A tiny sliver of blue was visible through the narrow gap between the buildings. Hitomi hung her head. Honestly, I can hardly believe how much you've done for me. I do appreciate it, but still. Minorikawa has to get here 5 minutes faster to stop her from hanging her head. The lengths you've gone to. Archie looked at his feet, then drew himself up. Well, I admit, it's not just because of some gut instinct or your love of the environment, he said. I'm a simp. There's another reason I'm doing this. There is? Archie paused, searching for the right words. I've got a little sister. Her name's Suzune. She's cute and smart. Kind of the exact opposite of me, you know? His voice took on an uncharacteristic solemnity. But she's got a weak heart, so she's in the hospital. Oh shit, he's like Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. But what does this have to do with wanting to help me? Back when Suzune was first admitted, I'd go visit her every day. But she... Archie, you don't need to come visit me every day, you know. The quiet hospital made Suzune's voice sound all the more frail, even though she's reading it in a letter. What are you talking about? Archie said. You know I'm worried about you. I'll be fine on my own, really. Archie had heard that line before. The more she insisted she was fine, though, the more reluctant she was to leave her. Wait. Besides, aren't you the amazing guy who helps hold Shibuya together? They need you out there. Archie didn't know how to respond to that. It'd be shameful if, like, after learning Japanese for 12 years at school, I couldn't read Japanese names, Romanized Japanese names. Just call him like when you think about it, Archie is totally like just a Kyle. Much as it was flattering to think he played some important role, he was really just hanging in, goofing with his pals. It certainly wasn't anything for his sister to be proud of. I mean, like, I don't know anyone called Archie, so I can't say, but he's totally a Kyle. I'd rather you spend your energy helping people who need it more than me. What do you mean, people who need help more? Who could possibly need help right now more than you? Archie scratched his head in confusion, and his sister gave him a weak, tiny smile. You'll figure it out, she said. I'm sure they'll find you soon enough. But I'm gonna be with you. I'll be fine. Suzune's face was pale, but her tone was firm. My big brother is out there doing his best, and he's going to win the Duelist Championship. That's what makes me happy. That's what keeps me going. Her voice was clear and unwavering, as if to head off his rebuttal. Alright, Archie said with a reluctant sigh. So then, I guess, I'll just go out there and help people who are in trouble. Satisfied, Suzune smiled. Thank you. And you can promise me one more thing. Of course! Anything you like! He thumped himself on the chest. If you're gonna help someone, make sure you see it all the way through to the end, okay? Even if, a man with a cane chases you all the way across Shibuya, just keep going. If you find a forklift, just, ram it into his face. Okay! No calling it quits halfway through, yeah? Actually run him over with the forklift. You got it! I just worry. Susanna said. I know you have a tendency to lose interest in things. Look, don't sweat it. I swear I won't give up on this. Archie stuck out his pinky finger, which he asked Trivia Murder Party to cut off. But I want you to promise me something in return. Promise me you won't let this thing beat you.
Suzune hooked her little finger around her brother's, her sad smile fragile as glass.
And so there you have it, she said. Kind of a rubbish story, I know. Not very funny.
So your sister's heart condition, it's pretty bad? Archie nodded.
You know, she called me amazing. There's nothing amazing about me. Suzune, she's the amazing one. She's been in the hospital so long, in so much pain, but she never complains.
The real cockroach was the friends we made along the way.
All I had to do was hang out and goof off with my friends.
Does Archie still have friends? He's made no indication that he does. He gave a shrug.
But I just kept thinking about how happy she'd be if I really did help people.
It turned out that finding people in need hadn't been all that simple. The only helpful thing Archie had been able to think of was going around picking up trash.
And so that's why Suzune's idiot brother left SOS to become Shibuya's garbage man. In more ways than one.
Did your friends know? Hitomi asked. About your sister?
I didn't tell them. I didn't want to pin this all on her being sick.
Ah, I see. At least now, Hitomi understood what the fight with the local toughs had been about. I nearly read that as like twos, like rhyming with like, or toe. I don't know, like I just forgot what tough was. The sound of approaching footsteps jerked them back into the present. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. He raised his gun. He's like some non-giving up cane guy. There was no time to flee, and there was no forklift they could back up with. Archie quickly stepped in front of Hitomi.
If you shoot us here, people are gonna come running, he said. I'm guessing you don't want to get pegged for murder.
The assassin didn't flinch, even though they're seemingly in an empty street. Yeah, he will survive a nuclear blast. He was born in Hiroshima and moved to Nagasaki.
Stay out of my way, Archie said.
This time there was no doubt. The gunman had spoken to Archie's name loud and clear.
How do you know who I am?
Yeah, Chernobyl University. The man stared at him through the sight of his gun.
She has to die, Archie. It's for the greater good.
The greater good. What? What does he mean? Hitomi whispered. Archie, what is he talking about? Archie's mind was a whirl. The things were coming at him too fast for him to process.
I don't know this guy. Hitomi, please, you have to believe me.
This is where he explains she is going to grow up to become Mrs. Hitler. I'm from the future. But Hitomi left out a doubtful step away from Archie. The assassin didn't miss his opening. He quickly aimed at her.
Cut the crap, man. What do you mean killing her is for the greater good? The greater good. Once she's dead, you'll understand.
I have in fact seen the 2005 comedy film Hot Fuzz. The gunman's finger tightened on the trigger. That's like the second time that Archie's hour has ended like right in front of an assassin. Alright. I'm curious about this first jump because I didn't see where it goes to. Yeah, so it goes to 12:05 on Tama's route, but I've already done this. What does that mean? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So forget this one. Ah, okay. Um, the other one seemed like it might be though. Wait, no, that's not a time jump. This one is. Somebody. Wait, no, this is the same frickin' jump. I'm a dumbass. It's this one. Hi, Effie, not welcome. Alright. Now it's back to the good shit. Literally, this toilet is clogged. Here. I mean, here, take a look at this. Huh? Osawa could never have anticipated what he saw on the LCD screen. It was like a windmill, but apparently it said it was Tarzan. It was an email from Hitomi. Oh, it links together. Stifling an exclamation, he scanned the contents of the message. And I was also playing Luigi's Mansion 3 today, which involves a lot of plunges as well. There's a man following me. He has a gun, and I think he's trying to kill me. His name is Archie. I'm safe for the moment, so try not to worry. The kidnapper warned me, told me not to contact my family or the police, so don't show this to my dad. The curse of Oyashiro Chama. Or Oyashiro Chama? Please, keep this email a secret. But didn't Hitomi give the kidnapper a ransom? Osawa said. What could anyone want with her now? Tanaka shook his head, uncertain. He wouldn't know any better than I would, I suppose. Do the police know about this? And if so, why haven't they said anything? He felt himself start to tremble as he searched for answers in Tanaka's silent gaze. Do you think this could be related to that other thing? I doubt it, but if it were, why would they go after Hitomi? Hey, it's 2 weeks away. I suppose you're right, but Osawa was shaking out right now. Yeah. Tanaka laid a hand on his shoulder. First, calm down and let's think about what we know about the kidnapper. Wait a minute. The cockroach is still in a building, and we're in a building, so we're not safe at last. His composure helped Osawa keep himself under control. They've taken Maria. They've taken Maria. The vice director continued quietly, along with a ransom of 50 million yen. And they're after Hitomi. His gaze sharpened. Sir, do you think this could be by someone who holds a personal grudge against you? A grudge? But my ex-wife is right here. Osawa considered. He couldn't think of anyone who could have a reason to attack him. I'm lying. She's not his ex-wife. He's just in spirit. He'd been too caught up in the virus research since his time in school to have formed any hostile rivalries. He didn't have any enemies that he knew of. Maybe someone's jealous that I've become head of a laboratory, he suggested doubtfully. He had held this position for years at this point. Why would that spur someone in kidnapping his daughter now? Has anything happened recently? Tanaka asked. Anything strange since you got back from overseas? Well, I've started coughing a lot, but I assume that's normal. It's just jet lag. Since I got back, Osawa's heart skipped a beat, then started pumping faster. The first thing that came to mind was the solicitation he'd gotten from the American laboratory. If he accepted the offer, it would put Okoshi Pharmaceuticals in quite a bind, possibly enough to warrant someone holding a grudge over it. But the only other person who knew about the potential transfer right now was his wife, I. No, Osawa said. Nothing. Not that I can think of. He couldn't bring himself to discuss the transfer with Tanaka. He felt a surge of guilt from contemplating leaving his trusted assistant behind. If he did make the move to America, he planned to recommend that Tanaka replace him as department director. Still, he didn't expect that to make up for his abandonment. Alright, I'll see what information I can find then, Tanaka said. Why they kidnapped his daughter. The kidnapper had forbidden any contact with either family or the police. But Tanaka was outside of that circle, and he knew how to handle things himself with discretion. I'm sorry to have put this on you, Osawa said. And thank you. For now, let's see if we can get Hitomi to exchange some more emails. But her emails. An uncomfortable thought suddenly occurred to Osawa. He blurted it out without thinking. Why do you have my daughter's contact information on your phone? Tanaka gave him a worried look. Sir, I promise I can explain once this is all over. And with that, he stepped out of the bathroom. Oh yes, some hot, wet action right now. Something in the tone of his final words left Osawa to wonder. Could it be that Tanaka and Tomi were dating? He hoped dearly for that not to be the case. Their age difference alone made the idea a disturbing one, let alone so many other considerations. Mamoru Tanaka is 40 years old, Hitomi is 19. This makes him just over twice her age. This does not necessarily mean, however, they could not date or fall for each other. Many couples with such an age difference between them wind up in happy, committed relationship. Trying to put aside his paranoia, Osawa resumed his struggle with the clog in the toilet. Most toilet clogs are caused by a build-up of flushable paper products or by solid objects inadvertently dropped into the toilet bowl. But shockingly enough, on rare occasions it can be caused by someone taking a dump, and that happens to be that big that it gets stuck in the pipe. Apologies to anyone who might be eating right now. The plunger is, I don't got a good bit, sorry. Oh goodness! Kajiwara reappeared, still toting the bucket. You seem to be having a lot of trouble there, sir. He made it sound like the whole mess was Osawa's fault. Of course I am. I've never had to do this before. Really? I'd think the research you do would be a lot more difficult than this. Fixing toilets could be far more trouble, I'd say. So it would seem. Kajiwara stood watching, as if Osawa's efforts made an interesting show. I don't know the first thing about viruses, sir, but I don't find unclogging toilets to be that difficult. Oh yeah? Osawa snapped. Then how about you fix the damn thing? Alright. Enjoy yourself and make sure you are not near any cockroaches, etc. Kajiwara really was a world-class pro at pissing people off. Are you sure you don't mind? The detective asked. Be my goddamn guest! Osawa shoved the plunger into Kajiwara's hands. But how long's he planning to use these gloves? Leaving the detective to handle the toilet, Osawa marched back to his study. He turned on the CD player and lay back in the sofa, squeezing his eyes shut. He was seriously on edge. Kajiwara had totally broken his stride. He was not, in fact, Matthew Wilder. What now? The door to his study slowly slid open. It's Detective Kajiwara, sir. Please don't come in here without asking. My apologies, Mr. Osawa. I just wanted to inform you that the toilet's been fixed. Right, fine. Osawa hardly cared. He just wanted this guy to give him a little peace. Oh my, is that really all you have to say, sir? Nary a compliment or encouraging word. Maybe a good job. No, maybe a good job, Kajiwara, or a you're getting a promotion, detective. Osawa blew out his breath in exasperation. How? How are you a detective? I'm not sure I get your meaning, sir. You are completely clueless. I'd like to ask your superiors to replace you with a detective who knows how to take his job seriously. Mr. Osawa, with all due respect, it's unusual for a precinct detective like me to be stationed here at a victim's home. What's your point? Not to brag, sir, but I happen to be an exceptional detective. Kajiwara beamed with pride. I once, went into a burning building and I didn't die. In fact, I made an excellent showing in the Superstar Detective contest we had on our police social media service. An online platform whose primary feature is allowing people to connect with one another, the police-exclusive social media network that Kajiwara belongs to, Poxy, is very strictly regulated, with any abusive language, slander, sexual content, or lame jokes deleted almost immediately. Oh, he is a cop on Twitter, he is the worst. For a moment, Osawa thought the bolt of incredulous anger that shot through him was the onset of a stroke. However, that seems very unlikely. I refuse to believe cops on social media would delete lame jokes. They make them. How could a single person be so utterly infuriating? And you can't tell anyone about this, Kajiwara went on obliviously. But this summer, a new detective manga is starting up, based on me. Planned for serialization in the MPD's monthly PR magazine, the chapter titles have already been decided. Chapter 1, The Fabled Detective Kaji. Chapter 2, Kaji Howls at the Sun. Chapter 3, Kaji Rides the Rails. I didn't notice, to be honest. Maybe tell me when she's about to say it again. Chapter 4, Kaji at Daybreak. Chapter 5, Detective KJ. Chapter 6, Kaji, Queen of the Street. Chapter 7, Look Out Kaji. Chapter 8, Kaji on the Edge. Chapter 9, Dance Kaji Dance. Chapter 10, Space Detective Kaji. And so on. Osawa spat out a peal of feigned laughter. A manga. I can tell you all about the plot, sir. Would you like to hear about it? I would not. It's about a telecommunicating detective who solves major crimes just using his wits and his computer. Surely you'd like to hear about that, sir? I really wouldn't. I know it may look... Wait. But I'm pretty handy with computers. Kajiwara's eyes drifted over to Osawa's desktop. I'm waiting for the chorus to end. They must be referring to the obnoxiously overplayed Dean Lewis song. His hand darted to the mouse. In a matter of moments, he cleared the screensaver and booted up a web browser. But yes, that is exactly what I heard too. Hey, Osawa barked. Don't touch that! But he was too late to stop the detective. The monitor showed the page for Ayayayaya.net, a fan page devoted to Aya Kamiki. Osawa's imminent rage stroke was beginning to make his vision grow fuzzy. You come to this site regularly, sir? Regularly? Oh, well, I'm not sure I'd, Osawa trailed off, feeling the heat of the blush flare on his cheek. He couldn't hide the fact that every single link was, like, darkened because he'd clicked on it recently. There's a lot of stuff on this site. Is there a section you primarily spend time on? Well, I mean, for my part, I really only go to the fan forums for folks 40 and over. I bet Osawa would totally be an ASET fan. Aha! With a twinkle of curiosity in his eyes, Kajiwara appeared at the computer screen. Having his privacy invaded to this degree was the ultimate disgrace. Alright, Osawa asked. You're an amazing detective, Kajiwara. Just incredible. I see a new light now. I see you in a new light now. Now would you please... Wait. Why is that name familiar, but I'm scared to look it up now? Wait, that was that thing you said that would be very, not wise to look up. Isn't it? Maybe I'll steer clear of that for now. These both seem very similar. Ooh. Oh wait. This is the he wants to stay alone in his room and look at this website for research purposes. Now would you please get the hell out of my room? He tried to usher Kajiwara back out of the door. oh, that, yes. That's why you know it. Kajiwara knows your game waiting. Alright, sir, the detective said. I understand. I'll leave. But before that... Kajiwara slipped his hand into his pocket, and his other one was flicking a cigarette and hailing a cab and giving a high five. I don't need a damn banana! It's not that, Mr. Osawa. I have something that I think may be important to you. Am I supposed to... Wait... Did you intend to make me read that to the tune of Mr. Brightside? Because I did. He held out a small plastic bag. Inside was a scrap of paper of some sort. What's that? Mr. Osawa said. This is what was clogging the toilet, sir. With some hesitation, Osawa took hold of the bag. Huh? That's... The passenger name here is listed as... Kameda Nagito. Oh, Kenji Osawa. In the plastic bag was a plane ticket. Specifically, the one for his upcoming flight in the US the following week. He left it out on his desk. How would it wound up getting flushed down the toilet? This looks like it's pretty important, sir, Kajiwara said. I must say, it was pretty careless of you to accidentally flush it. A very wry sort of smile came to his face. Although, the detective added, I suppose the question of who flushed it is another matter entirely. Something you might need a detective for. Osawa was at a loss for words. Someone had tried to flush his plane ticket on purpose. He was sure of it. Oh shit. Osawa has Hinamizawa syndrome. He knocked on the door to Ai's room, but there was no response. It didn't look like she'd gotten back home yet. Osawa let himself in. maybe it's like because like coronavirus, like toilet paper is very valuable, so you have to use something less valuable than toilet paper. The stinging scent of her perfume pervaded the room, which was decorated all in white. But was Oyos Hirochi's curse people or roaches? Clothes were strewn all about, as if to put her slovenliness on display. She'd been like this ever since they'd gotten married, and Osawa had long since stopped caring. It must have been I who tried to flush the ticket. He knew she didn't want him going to America, but still, couldn't she have found a better way to get rid of it? Thanks to her, he'd been stuck hunched over the damn toilet, fighting with a plunger. Osawa sat down on the bed amidst a brand name clothing, then he spotted something odd down by his feet. Is that... Did you just make a Heroes reference? It was a gold cigarette lighter. Just when I picked up smoking. Wait a minute. Minorikawa smokes. He's having an affair. Osawa picked up the lighter and set it on the shelf next to the bed. Or this is going to be like Murder on the Orient Express, and now we need to find out whether everyone smokes, who's left-handed, and actually it doesn't matter. He started out of the room, but then he noticed a scrapbook on the bookshelf. The rest of the shelf was filled with fashion magazines, so the scrapbook definitely drew his eye. Because he's a dweeb. Curious, he took it down and opened it. Suddenly, Kajiwara came barging into the room. "Mr. Osawa!" he cried out. "It's your wife! She's gone completely hysterical!" "She's what?" "That's normal." "Please, follow me!" Kajiwara led Osawa to the cafe where I had gone. I, the person, not I, the second person perspective of me. Who was on first? The instant he opened the door, Osawa's ears were assaulted by a veritable whirlwind of verbal fury. Oh my goodness, is everyone going to go to this cafe? Except for Kano. "What the hell are you doing? Hurry up and arrest this man!" The grating, histrionic voice was none other than I's. I nailed it. "Ma'am, please," begged the officer she was verbally assaulting. I just need you to come with me for a while. So I can ask you a few questions about the situation. The officer looked nearly on the verge of tears. Eyes 9. A strange man, not to be outdone by Eyes shouting, added his own voice to the chorus. "Hurry up and finish that, find that listening device. She's got one on her, I'm sure of it." Oh, shut up. Please shut up. He'd only just stepped through the door and already Osawa wanted to run away. The cafe was almost deserted, probably because the rest of the clientele had been driven off. What few customers remained were rooted in their seats, apparently afraid of getting caught up in the mayhem themselves. "How dare you call yourself a police officer?" I harped. "This is dereliction of duty is what it is." "Ma'am, please." The officer was in tears now. "To think the good taxpayer money pays your salary." Ma'am, please, this is a Wendy's. Recording a conversation without consent is a serious crime," the other man railed. "Shit. Not cracking down on that. That's dereliction of duty." Sir, please. You know what? Fine, I'll find the bug myself." "Sir, please," the policeman exclaimed again as the man advancing towards I, holding out some sort of electronic device. I recoiled. "Stop that at once. Don't you dare touch my belongings." "Aha, so you do have something to hide." Minorikawa has seen better days. Alright, Alright, now ladies. Yeah. Kajiwara interposed himself between I and the strange man. Oh, not you, I groaned. Why don't you mind your own business and get the hell out of here? Look at those people in the background. The guy on the right is just like, well, yep, this is my day now. And the woman on the left is just like seriously concerned. Yeah, the man agreed. Mind your own business. Oh, don't you mind me, Kajiwara replied. Ma'am, your husband is here. He gestured at Osawa. Osawa hadn't expected to be put on the spot. He stood frozen, speechless. Now what? I snarled. What do you want? Nothing in particular. When I say I mean me, not you. You, the person whose name is I just mean I as the second person. Osawa began to back away on reflex, but I, the first person, closed in on him. Third person, I guess I should say. That's how it always is with you. No, I is... When you say I is second person. First person is he, she. You never care one whit what I do. And you know what? That's fine. Oh, sorry, you're right, yeah, second person is you. Yep. But it wouldn't kill you to show a little concern when I'm under attack like this. You're her husband? The strange man demanded. Look, someone's planted the bug on your wife. Could she be caught up in something? Something big? Tell me. Why? Why are they all coming at me now? Sir, please, the officer too turned to Osawa. We just want to hear your wife's side of the story. To be fair, this is less stupid than what Archie said. Now I'm afraid I'll have to ask all of you to accompany me back to this station. Osawa felt like he was standing in the eye of a hurricane that was whirling faster and faster. Are you even listening? Hey, you hearing us all right, man? Everybody, please. Osawa simply stood paralyzed and stared as the storm of fury raged on and on. But no matter how hard he wished for someone to escape, the storm showed no signs of passing him by. I want to go home. I never should have come here. Why? Why did any of this have to happen? I relate so hard to Osawa right now. Oh, this is just an ending. Osawa walked into the middle of an argument between his wife and some weirdo at the cafe. The fight kept escalating until everyone involved got an invite down at the station. It's doubtful anything Osawa could have said could have stopped Ai from leaving the house in a huff, so maybe the guy she's arguing with needs to change what he does. Well, I mean, when it comes to French, it's all a bit of a je ne sais quoi. Alright, so we've done all of her options. What can we change about Minorikawa's day? Wouldn't that be a malapropism? I don't know what a je ne sais pas is. No, that's what... No, a je ne sais quoi is literally I don't know what. Or have I spelt it wrong again? Okay, we are both saying very similar sentences. It was rare nowadays to see a father behave so imperiously towards his own daughter. Just how sheltered he'd been trying to keep her. I'm sorry you have to put up with us. Clearly the French experts here. Oh yeah. Minorikawa couldn't see her face from where he was sitting, but his interest was piqued. It feels like he's just gonna get more involved in things. Should he move to another seat where he could take a look? Gathering up his laptop, Minorikawa switched to a different table. I mean, hey, I've beaten Fury in under 28 minutes. I know French very well. I don't care. No, sorry. I don't care if I'm making a scene, the older man was saying. I'm not leaving until you cut ties with the boy. You understand? Wait, sorry. I understand that you're never happy unless you get your way. You're acting like a spoiled child. Don't you talk back to me. You don't understand your own situation. You're letting your emotions cloud your judgment without putting any thought into your future, which is based on your emotions. No, Dad, you're the one who doesn't understand. Parents just don't understand. I learnt it from the Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff. The father-daughter argument was getting more and more heated. Dad was clearly furious. Minorikawa shifted closer, curious to see what might happen next. Then he saw the daughter's face and gasped out loud, "What is that face?" He is way too happy. Oh, hey, I know you. You're on TV, right? The father scowled up at him. Is he going to mistake her for the same person that Sasayama mistaken her for? You must be mistaken, he said gruffly. No, I'm sure of it, Minorikawa said. What show am I thinking of? The young woman seemed disconcerted by his enthusiasm. Who was she? He called out to a waitress who was passing by. Hey miss, do you know this girl? She's an actress, right? It's right on the tip of my tongue. The waitress ignored him, but Minorikawa was undeterred. I know this. When you're on one of those TV dramas or something? Minorikawa is probably thinking of the series starring Masami Nagahama, possibly Operation Cold Cuts. The Last Frenchman, Touched by a Tuna, or Sailor Man Pies, all of which received high viewer ratings and are fondly remembered in the public consciousness. I remember Touched by a Tuna. That was the Australian version of Touched by an Angel. Right, we're leaving, the father grumbled. He rose from his seat, radiating aggravation. Huh? The young woman said, but not waiting to hear a rejection, he grabbed her by the hand and stormed out of the coffee shop. Hey, hold on, Minorikawa squawked. His plea fell on deaf ears. All he could do was watch them go and shuffle back to his seat in disappointment. Damn it, what was her name? I should have asked for an autograph. Mumbling under his breath, Minorikawa went back to typing. What's that? I may be paranoid, but not an android. A strange beeping sound broke Minorikawa out of his writing reverie. Upon looking up in confusion, he found his attention drawn to a young woman at another table. And then one of those, and then one of these, and one of these. Yes. Yeah. I make obscure references to obscure bands sometimes. She finished with a broad grin. Oh, I thought it was gonna be not her. Let me just repeat your order back to you. 1 Japanese style beef patty, 1 spicy fish roe spaghetti, 1 chicken casserole, 1 French onion soup, 1 fruit parfait, 1 chocolate parfait, and 1 deluxe chocolate parfait. Will that be all? The waitress anxiously awaited confirmation. Ryoko Kakinuma, a second-year student at Midoriyama Academy's law school. She was hassled by a pair of hustlers on her way to work today and showed up 5 minutes late for her shift. Everything's 5 minutes. The manager told her that those 5 minutes were coming out of her pay, so she's a bit irritated right now. I like to imagine like literal 5 minutes pay, so it's like $1 or whatever it is. Everything on her order is in its right place. Do deluxe chocolate parfaits have layers? You forgot the large caramel shake. Custom was a full-figured young woman ensconced at a nearby table. Oh, my apologies. The waitress quickly jotted down the addition to the order. That'll do it for me now, the young woman said. For now? Yikes. She's actually planning on ordering more after that. Marveling at this display of an appetite, Minorikawa went back to typing. True, that is true. Onions do have layers. Now what? You heard a strange beeping sound again. Subtly. Different from the first time. And this time, it was closer. Seriously, what the heck is that? I did this before, didn't I? I need to get to the bottom of this, or I'll never be able to concentrate. Just where the heck is that sound coming from? He searched his surroundings for a moment, and quickly discovered that the noise was coming from his own bag. He pulled out one of the most important tools of his trade, a bug detector. An instrument for finding listening devices. Since wireless listening devices emit radio signals, bug detectors are designed to use wide area receivers to reveal their presence. Using a detector to find something in fashion is known as fox hunting. I was literally waiting for the tip to just say, it will not actually help you find insects. It was on, and it had to be picked up by a signal. To a reporter, information was life. That made owning a bug detector a sensible precaution in his life and work. With the device in hand, Minorikawa casually scanned the area. Eventually, he zeroed in on the signal. He stood up. Everyone, your attention please, he announced. Someone set up a listening device in here. Somebody set us up the bomb. Several cafe patrons turned their heads in disbelief. A woman wreathed in pungent perfume flashed him a disagreeable look. Oh, come on. That's ridiculous, she huffed. There's something fishy going on. Wait. The only thing fishy right now is you. Shit, I did it backwards. The woman declared disdainfully. Why don't you get out of here and let everyone enjoy their meals? No, I smell a scoop. You what? You, what's your name? None of your business, that's what. Now hurry up and stop that awful noise. The other customers were starting to murmur loudly. There's a listening device here, folks, Minorikawa said. How can that not bother you? Do you know where it could be? Excuse me, the woman called out. Could someone please do something about this man? A waitress hurried over. Sir, please, you're bothering our other customers. I was half expecting him to be that oblivious. There's a listening device in here. That's what people should be bothered with right now. The waitress took a reflexive step backwards at the words listening device. You're the one who's intruding on everyone, the woman. You're the one who's intruding on everyone, the woman shouted. Honestly, could you please stop that racket? It's not me that's making the racket. It's the bug tracker. Just who the hell do you think you are? Police? Somebody call the police. Ma'am, please calm down, the waitress said. There are other customers here, and I'll calm down when she gets this I'll calm down when she get this disrespectful bore out of here. All I'm doing is sharing the truth. You can't keep me up for that. The waitress wavered, clearly intimidated by both of them. You've sure got a lot of nerve, the woman snapped at Minorikawa. Go play detective someplace else. I'm not a detective, I'm a reporter. Really now? By far my least favourite profession. Oh no, and what is that? Did someone write a story about you, lady? Got skeletons in your closet. You shut your mouth. How dare you? Yeah, I sell scoop here, alright? And the smell is coming from you. Oh, stop it with your scoop nonsense already. It's no use trying to hide things from me. You have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yes I do, lady. Go to hell. After you. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. As they shouted over each other, their words blurred together until there were barely words anymore. The onlookers could only hear indistinct, meaningless raving. And still, the yelling went on and on and on, and eventually came the sound of approaching sirens. But even when the police cruiser pulled up outside the cafe, the two didn't stop their bickering. Minorikawa lost his cool and got drawn into an argument with a stranger, giving no thought to the consequences. By the time he came to his senses in a jail cell, it was already too late to save 4-star general gossip. Maybe worrying about weird noises can wait. Right now, finishing up that article sounds like a better idea. Alright, so let's do the proper one now. Suffice to say, Minorikawa's got a big cockroach problem. Well, never mind. I need to focus on finishing this article. Minorikawa immersed himself in writing again. Before long, he stopped worrying about the curious sound. He was not, in fact, a Potter pal. The plump young woman set about devouring all the food she ordered, despite the strange look she was getting. Now that was an appetite to be reckoned with. It took her under 3 minutes to polish the lot. Holy shit. Then, looking not the least bit sated, she picked the menu right back up. I'm feeling very outed as a restaurant goer. But also, it's worth noting that she was eating like 2 hours ago as well. Maybe less than 2 hours ago. Yeah, it was more like an hour ago actually, she was just eating. Was she seriously going to order more? Minorikawa was starting to take an interest in this young lady. There might be a story here. He conjured up a series of headlines in his mind. Woman inhales 30,000 calories in 3 minutes. This is the equivalent of 100 pieces of short cakes, 300 glasses of milk, or enough steak and rice to feed about 30 people. No, he did something with more punch. Food for thought. An expose on obesity. No, that was no good. He wasn't writing for a fashion mag here. A gourmet day in Shibuya. That was it! He was able to whip up something if he went for the foodie angle. Minorikawa got up from his seat. That's pretty impressive, he said to the hungry diner. Do you always eat that much? The young woman glared back at him. Not always, she said. Suddenly tension filled the air. Oops, was that way too blunt of me? I mean, she is a young lady after all. Maybe I should just change up my approach. Who the heck are you anyway? The woman asked. I'm a freelance writer. I was hoping I could do an interview with you real quick. You want to interview me? The suspicion was plain on her face. I do. I mean, girls over the world worry about the diets, right? I hear that, yeah. So would you be willing to share your secret or your technique for how to eat without getting fat? What, me? Sure, I mean look at the figure you're maintaining despite eating all this food. The young woman's expression brightened up. Oh, you notice? There's actually a lot that goes into this. Yeah? The basic thing though is to eat 10 meals a day. Minorikawa struggled to keep his jaw from dropping. 10 meals a day? She flashed him a chubby cheek grin. You don't know how diets work, do you? She chuckled. Eating only once or twice a day, that's what'll make you fat. You gotta space your food out into smaller portions throughout the day. Smaller portions. That's the fundamentals of dieting right there. Right, but what happened to the smaller portions? But Minorikawa had to bite his tongue. I see, he said. Stand back up, Minorikawa. Trying to remember what I meant to say. I like that she is supposed to be getting paid for shilling a weight loss thing and she's just not mentioning it at all. Any other pro dieting tips you could share? How long have you been sitting on that pun? Well, for the basics, I say always drink protein instead of tea, yeah? Drink protein all day, seriously. Once again, it took all of Minorikawa's willpower to keep his thoughts to himself. Let's see, what else? Oh, sorry, what else? There's stuff called Burning Hammer too, but she tried off with a little wince. Wait, Minorikawa pokes up. Did you say Burning Hammer? Oh, you know it. I've heard of it. Anyway, Minorikawa replied. He decided it was better off keeping his plans to head to the sales demo a secret. There's a sales demo later on if you're interested, the woman said, as if she were reading his thoughts. Though, full disclosure, I am working for them right now. She handed Minorikawa an advertising pamphlet. There was a more detailed map for the venue included. What a stroke of luck! Now he didn't need to rely on the crummy map in the project proposal anymore. He'd have no trouble finding this venue in the building's various floors all broken down for him. And actually, I gotta get back to work, the woman said. Sure, thanks so much for your time. I'm gonna hang back and finish my coffee here. The woman left the cafe, and Minorikawa went back to his laptop. He gotten some new info on the Burning Hammer sales demo, but he also lost some more time. The surveillance camera piece still wasn't finished. It was going to be a near thing to get it done before the sales demo started. Yet instead of returning to his writing, he got out his cell phone. What if Toyama had gotten another one of his crazy ideas? If he tried to hang himself again, the thought had Minorikawa too worried to work on his copy. The phone rang several times before someone picked up. Mr. Toyama, where are you now? Minorikawa asked. Right now, I'm on the run somewhere near Shoto, an upscale residential area. Despite being smack dab in the middle of the city, its quiet neighborhood rife with greenery. The residence of the former governor of Tokyo is here, built on a massive 2,200 square meter plot of land. There's a shady hotel district for a short walk to the south, making for quite the juxtaposition. What if it's Hoots? Maybe like you thought that cockroaches were the problem, but actually we're about to get attacked by owls. Toyama was speaking in an oddly hushed tone. Shoto? Wait, but shoot as in gun or shoot as in photo? Maybe both. After you left from our office, some guys came back to collect on my debts. So I made a run for it. Okay, so we wasn't dead, but the situation was still pretty bad. Look, we'll get through get you through this somehow, Minorikawa said, hoping it was true. I feel like this must be wrong. No, never mind. I'm gonna do it anyway. You should get back to the office ASAP. The office? They'll find me there for sure. Toyama's voice was a little more than a pathetic whimper. It's a little bit of psychology. The last place the detectives are going to think you went back to was the office, right? Ah, I see, Toyama said. He sounded impressed by the suggestion. Then I just stay hidden until I get this article finished. Alright, Toyama said weakly. He hung up. Minorikawa let out a deep sigh and then turned back to his laptop. Oh, it was the right one. Let's do the other one then. Just keep your head down and stay out of the trouble. Stay where you are now. Stay where I am? But what am I supposed to do? Toyama's voice dropped in and out. It sounded like he was moving quickly. Turns out he was actually on a roller coaster. Find some place to hide and just lay low for a while, Minorikawa said. Oh, alright, Toyama said weakly. He hung up. Minorikawa let out a deep sigh and went back to his laptop. Oh? Maybe it doesn't matter. Or it does matter, just not to him. Oh, Kano can continue, it seems. I am not sure what happened to him last. Wait. Oh, the couple are not distracted by someone, possibly him? I guess we'll find out. Hey, sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. Anyway. Thinking back to the way Tatano had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers made Kano feel all the more raw about talking to these syndicate members. Letting the crooks just wander around wasn't going to bring Maria Osawa back to safety. Of that, Kano was now certain. I like how Kano just hasn't thought about Hitomi in a long time. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. He uttered the fundamental dictum out loud. Well, you've lost sight of it completely, a voice said, out of nowhere. What? Kano spun around. It was Shizuo. Rumi was with him. Sir, Kano started, weren't you supposed to be waiting at the cafe for... There was some lowlife there, so we left. Rumi's dad looked plenty mean now under ordinary circumstances. Right now, he looked like a man possessed. Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm still on duty at the moment. I'm going back home, Shizuo huffed. You're not marrying my daughter. He turned to walk away. No, please, just wait. I'm done waiting. Now I'm going home. Oh, if you're here waiting, he is done with you. Please don't do this. Just hear me out. I've heard all I need to hear from you, which admittedly is not very much because you've been very much out of my way for this entire day. Rumi, we're leaving. Dad, please. Goodbye. Wait. Oh, sorry, I've been trying to think of a good pun, but I'm just not going to bother. She's always stormed off without another word, dragging her behind. Shinya! She called out from over her shoulder. Rumi! She was gone. Rumi was gone. Kano desperately wanted to go after her, but he hesitated in agony of indecision. I can't turn my back on my responsibilities. I'm a detective. My work has to be my first priority. Going after Rumi isn't what a good detective would do. Oh, Detective Tatano, what should I do? Tatano, Still, the dictum echoed in his mind. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Yeah, like, I mean... If Kevin Spacey handed me a box, I would decidedly not want to open it. Six months later. 6 months later. Kano made his way through a small corner of a vast field in Nagano countryside. Nagano. Slowly and leisurely, I don't know if I don't know if you've seen the movie Seven. Slowly and leisurely, he tilled the soil. He surprised himself with his own newfound enthusiasm for organic farming, learning more from Shizuo day after day. His father-in-law had taught him the ways of farming from the ground up, and while things had been rocky between them at first, their friendship was now growing strong. Oh, hey, you're back. Quote-unquote fun fact is that, like, I watched the movie for the first time, like, a month before, we found out that Kevin Spacey was not a very good person. Pausing to wipe his brow, he smiled at the acreage around him. He looked forward to tending to the crops he'd sown until harvest came around. If he'd stayed on as a detective, he might, well, never have known the joy he now found in his work. It sounds like a good ending. And this wasn't the only seed Kano had planted. By the time harvest season came around, he had, as Tears for Fears had said, sowed the seeds of love. The new life growing within his dear roomy belly would be ready to celebrate it with them. My brother watches that, I haven't watched it. Kano went after Rumi and Shizuo, proving his devotion and earning her hand in marriage. Now he's a farmer in Nagano, and the crime in Tokyo is someone else's problem. Hang on a second. Why weren't Rumi and Shizuo waiting in the cafe like they were supposed to be? Well, there's no way for Kano to know about how one man's bit of curiosity at that cafe led to this strange twist of fate. This screen is just like a commentary on society. Wait, hang on though. I thought that Minorikawa needed to do that to like progress his own story. There's some shenanigans going on here. Hang on, but wait. Continue Osawa's though, because now Minorikawa isn't being a nuisance. Minorikawa is definitely like rising up the favourites list. I was thinking of like jokingly tweeting like a big tier list of like every character I can remember. He knocked on the door to Ai's room, but there was no response. Oh, sorry. Go forward. It was a gold cigarette lighter, just when had Ai picked up smoking. Osawa picked up the lighter and set it on the shelf next to the bed. He started out of the room, but stopped as he noticed a scrapbook on the bookshelf. The rest of the shelf was filled with fashion magazine, so the scrapbook definitely drew his eye. Also, I'm going to say, truly, like, the only House of Cards we can now enjoy is the track from Radiohead's In Rainbows. Curious, he took it down and opened it. The book was filled with articles and write-ups about the result of Osawa's research and the company's various achievements. Flipping through the pages took him on another trip down memory lane. There was even an old company memo welcoming Tanaka on board as his new vice director. There was a photo of Osawa shaking Tanaka's hand at the party, celebrating his new position. It was a little peculiar to think she had bothered to keep something so trivial. A series of magazine articles was nestled between the pages further into the book. These hadn't been clipped out for inclusion of the scrapbook itself. Osawa glanced through them. Floundering Okoshi Pharmaceutical arranges for the marriage of political convenience. It was a self-indulgent piece from some rag called 4-Star General Gossip from right after he and I, the woman, had gotten married. When the piece had first run, he'd been too furious to read it. I hope Minorikawa wrote it. Now he had given it a quick looking over. It was pretty much exactly what he expected. It talked about how one of the corporate directors had sacrificed his own daughter in order to keep one of the researchers on board. allowing someone else to come to harm's way for one's personal gain. In this case, the term is used figuratively, not literally. Referring, of course, to Makino offering Osawa's Osawa Ai's hand in marriage. She was found later with her left eye taken out. Rumours abound of marital strife between the newlyweds. The article went on to talk about how Ai, the woman, had been dating another man before she and Osawa had gotten married. The whole thing was a bunch of puerile rubbish. Any marriage involved some kind of calculated self-interest, after all. Whatever the reason for the union, nothing changed the fact that my wife, I, was now his wife. That's what I should do. I should do Borat voice every time he has to say that. I feel like I'm gonna need this reference explained, but now you're making it sound like I don't want it explained. With a faint sigh, Osawa put the scrapbook back on the shelf. Feeling disconsolate, he returned to his study and began flipping through his CD rack. His eyes scanned for Aya Kamiki's album, For Tomorrow, Forevermore. A lot of her more experimental numbers were on that album. She had a real PC music phase. Given how discombobulated he felt right now, this was what he needed to hear. I mean, if it's on like Netflix or Stan, I probably could. I need to watch more movies. Again, Osawa reflected on how there'd been a time when he didn't care about music at all. Who is pinging me? Better not be Ben. Oh. Okay. He simply purchased copies of the most popular CD of the moment as birthday presents for his two girls, and that just happened to be an album by Aya Kamiki. Like, that's I refuse to believe. Like, and that's how you know this isn't from the 2010s, because like at any given week in the 2010s, the most popular album at the moment is by Ed Sheeran. Hitomi was thrilled by the gift, but Maria seemed terribly fond of it. The next day, she tossed her copy back on her father's desk. Figuring that throwing it away would be a waste, Osawa had stuck the CD into his computer to give it a listen. He was immediately bombarded by an intense beat bolstered by bold, uplifting vocals. Aya Kamiki wrote her own lyrics, which did a fine job of conveying the emotions of a teenage girl. Osawa could hardly believe it. After listening to it, just one track, he was well and truly hooked. Before the day was out, he had purchased her entire discography. Huh? He muttered. For tomorrow, it should have been in the CD rack, but there was no sign of it. It's a teenage girl's perspective of uplifting. What if it, like she's do we sure she's actually a teenager, or is she like Carly Rae Jepsen? She's actually in her 30s. Where the heck is it? Why isn't it here? For a moment he wondered if he was going crazy, and then he remembered. It was at the lab. So it's back to the lab again. He wanted something to listen to on a break at work, so he brought the album there. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Not being able to listen to it made him want to hear it all the more. Spotify, unfortunately, did not exist in Japan until 2018. 2017, I think it was. I think I knew that, actually. Like, Lady Gaga was like 25 when she got big, and Carly Rae Jepsen was like 30-something when she got big, and that was 4 years later. Yeah. He'd just have to borrow the copy he'd given to Hitomi all those years ago. There are lots of like weird things like that, like T-Pain is younger than J. Cole, Chris Brown is younger than The Weeknd. Unable to contain his need to hear that music, he went into Hitomi's room. There, he quickly rummaged through the CD rack beside his daughter's bed. Part of him felt like he was being a little sneak thief. According to the email Tanaka had shown him, someone was trying to kill Hitomi. Under the circumstances, he knew what he was doing was ridiculous, and yet he still couldn't resist the impulse to find this CD. but his efforts were to no avail. There were no Aya Kamiki CDs in the rack at all. Wait, hide from what? I'm not sure why that name is familiar to me. mm. Is it a French singer? I'm not sure I know. Like there are I know like also like two of the members of the band Garbage are like around the age 70 now. Um Meredith Brooks, who had the hit song Bitch in 1998, is like in her early 60s. Um like there are a lot of artists who are a lot older than they seemed. Osawa pulled out every CD on the rack, but they were all classical music. He slumped back in disappointment. It had to be somewhere here in her room. Actually, I can believe that about Natalie because, like, her big hit was over 20 years ago. I say big hit even though actually I'm Australian. I can name like 5 of her songs. Osawa jumped at the sound of his cell and fumbled to get it out of his pocket. Although maybe it doesn't sound as old because Radio 2 in the UK recently did a countdown of the top 40 most played songs of the decade on BBC Radio 2, and Torn was the only song from before the 2000s there. I also know it's a cover because the original is by Edna Swap. I don't recall if I've heard it. Makino's name was displayed on the LCD screen. I'm out front. That was all Makino said before hanging out. I get 1997 and 1998 like hit songs mixed up all the time. Actually, it's a big, like they just blur into one to me. Hurriedly, Osawa began tidying up the CD. Like, why can't everything should just be like Candle in the Wind 1997? I know that's from 1997. As he worked, he thought about what he was going to say to Makino. To think that someone had violated corporate policy to such unethical ends. It sullied his research. Osawa wasn't about to let anyone get away with it. Actually, hang on, just let me remind myself what was going on. Yep. Wait. Just a moment. Who is Makino? Oh, the reason I know it is because I'm a massive chart nerd, and usually you just have to remember like oh right, thank you. Usually if you just remember a few songs, like you can remember the songs that are charting around them, and then it sort of just pieces together. There are lots of things like that. Like for a time, I used to be able to name every single ARIA #1 hit from 1988 to 2012 in like order. Just because I just need to think of them one at a time and I could get there. Now I'm a bit fuzzy on it. But it's also really easy to like name the #1 hits of 2019 to present because there have only been about 6 of them in Australia. Like in Australia we've had 2 new #1 hits in the past 8 months. And yet, when he was about to leave Hitomi's room, a sudden uncertainty gripped him. He hesitated. Did he have any right to condemn Makino for running trials in secret? His hand began to sweat as it gripped on the doorknob. No, he didn't. How could he? His hands were dirty in all of this too. We need to keep this a secret. Just between us. You played a very close game though, waiting. Like, that was down to the wire the entire way. But yeah, like sometimes me and my friends we go on music quiz games where like they play a clip of a song and you have to type in the answer, and like several times now we've had people accuse us of cheating just because we're just two massive music nerds. It'll be fun. We've already cleared animal testing. The memories hovered. Osawa himself had already administered the antiviral to someone, hadn't he? It was the only way. Muttering to nobody in particular, Osawa trudged towards the front door of his house. I like how you say that, oh yeah, but like, I'm the one who verified that run. Like, actually, like, I'm like the only person who has verified any runs in Fury in like the past 2 months, it feels like. So we've got 2 people to the end now. There was a jump somewhere. I'm trying to remember where it was. Can we go to this one maybe? I'm not convinced we can because... Oh wait, no, we should be able to. Oh, sorry. Minorikawa took a look at his wristwatch and gritted his teeth. By the way, what sort of impression do you have of this wristwatch? Just respond with whatever comes to mind. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of square, like, timepieces and like the 6 seems a bit gauche and like just overly large. Like, yeah. Also, like the turny thing, it looks a bit wide, like, and intrusive. But I do like the sort of roundness of the overall thing. Like, it kind of blends in. My watch is obviously better. That's why they designed a building around it. Damn, is it that late already? He needs to head for the sales demo. The surveillance camera article wasn't done, but he'd just have to leave it where it was now. But as he was slipping his laptop back into his bag, his cell phone rang. He looked at his screen and saw Chiaki's name listed as the incoming caller. Hey, hey. Was she done with her interviews? Hurriedly, he picked up. Chiaki, how's it going? Several wet sniffles came through the receiver. Hey, are you... Wait, hey, are you crying? It's no use. Chiaki's voice was indeed punctuated by sobs. People won't stop to talk no matter how hard I try. Hey, Hajime. Oh, come on. This again? Really? I can't do it. Don't worry about paying me. Just... Wait, sorry. I can't do it. Don't worry about paying me. Just... Please, let me go home. Minorikawa was already operating on a too tight schedule. He didn't have time to worry about Chiaki on top of it all. Look, just slow down and take a breath. Just try to keep out of it a little longer. You should have seen this coming when I first called it. Oh shit. Now, I swear it wasn't letting me skip before. The The plaza outside Shibuya Station was as crowded as ever. Minorikawa looked around, but there was no sign of Chiaki. She bowed. Minorikawa dropped to his knees in despair. His last hope had up and left. There was no one else he could even ask. Damn it, alright, then fine. I'll do it myself. Yeah, I've already... Alright, yeah, I've already read this before. Yeah, I was just... I just felt inclined to finish it this time because it was right there. Oh, didn't you know, waiting, Minorikawa's boss needs to publish this, this copy of 4-Star General by tonight because he has debt collectors trying to, I don't know, ruin his life or something. And so, which is why Minorikawa is in such a hurry and he needs to get a certain amount of articles done before a deadline, otherwise his boss will hang himself. Oh yes, oh shit, I forgot to actually look at the, hang on, if I go back. How do I... Shit, how do I check the bad endings again? Ah, get off it, get off it, get off it. Yes, start where... Oh, here it is, okay. So I meant to look at this one. Kano at 12:10. I don't remember Kano having a decision then, but I'll have a look. What, the girl? Asked Kano. Yeah, wanna go hit her up? Sasayama could only mean one thing, questioning her. She can't be involved with this, can she? Sasayama flashed him a skeptical look. Don't let your preconceptions get the better of you. Could get yourself killed. Fixed notions about how something before the facts are known could be a hindrance to thinking freely. If you think about it too hard, you might fall victim to the preconception. The preconceptions themselves are always bad. I know that, but still, she doesn't come across as involved to me. Kano knew better than to judge people based on appearance, but he was still convinced this girl wasn't part of this gang. She just struck him as far too, well, inept, really. Alright, I'll go look into the girl, Sasayama said. You keep following the attaché case. Kano nodded and hurried back to the man. The man's black garb made him stand out of the crowd at an intersection. It occurred to Kano that all of the criminals who handled the attaché case had been wearing the same black clothing. That made the whole situation weirder. Could they really be ignorant that they were being followed while they were being all out wearing the same eye-catching outfit? It's more like they were going out of their way... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I was pressing down at the end of every single line, waiting for it to let me. It's kind of like when you're doing the first voting stage in Virtue's Last Reward, and you skip the dialogue, but you have to read it slowly again because like he says a different set of people are in danger of being killed. Minorikawa took a look at his wristwatch and gritted his teeth. Damn, is it late already? He knitted his head to the sales demo. The Valence camera's article wasn't done, but he'd just have to leave it where it was for now. As he was slipping his laptop back into his bag, his cell phone rang. He looked at the screen and saw Chiaki's name listed as the incoming call. Sorry. Hurriedly, he picked up. Chiaki, how's it going? Several wet sniffles came through the receiver. Hey, are you crying? It's no use. Chiaki's voice was indeed punctuated by sobs. People won't stop to talk no matter how hard I try. Oh, come on. This again? Really? I can't do it. Don't worry about paying me. Just please let me go home. Minorikawa was already operating on a too tight schedule. He didn't have time to worry about Chiaki on top of it all. Look, just slow down and take a breath. Try to keep it out a little longer. He should have seen this coming when he first called her. Her shower's practice. I'm also trying to skip this, but it's not letting me. But if you cut it loose now, all this frustration would be for nothing. But I can't do it. Chiaki whined again. I'm sorry, I really am. Look, just calm down. Minorikawa was practically screaming to his phone. Just stay where you are until I get there, okay? Got there? Whatever you do, just don't move. Leaving the money for his coffee on the table, he straight out of the cafe. Strange interviews were tougher than they looked. Not many random passersby were willing to stop and do it back and forth. Still, being able to talk to people on the street was a fundamental skill for a freelance reporter. All Minorikawa wanted was for Chiaki to put in a little effort to make it happen. Although he found her personality frustrating, he actually quite liked her writing. Reading her words, you'd never guess what she was like in person. She could just break the right story. He was sure readers would be quite taken with her. There was no time like the present. There's no indication that anything different's happened, though. The plaza outside Shibuya Station was as crowded as ever. Minorikawa looked around and soon spotted Chiaki. Hey, what are you doing? He asked. She was hunkered down in front of a statue of Hachiko, squatting in an odd position. A group of kindergartners was gathered nearby, peering at her with sadness in their eyes like she was a stray dog or something. A pair of girls from Midoriyama Academy's kindergarten. They always hang around the train station after school. They're quite fond of killing time inside the Tokyo 5000 series space car, a new landmark by the Hachiko entrance. The beat cop at the station's police box has been nicknamed them the Kinder Partners. What's this all about? Minorikawa asked. This is how I end up when I lose all my subconscious. I just wanna hide. Oh, for crying out loud, get up, will you? I don't wanna. Minorikawa tells people who are depressed to just cheer up. Stop crying! Chiaki sniffled and wiped at her eyes. Let me ask you this, Minorikawa stared down at her. What was it that made you want to be a freelance writer? Well, I guess because I wanted to try my hand at writing. A dangling bit of mucus bobbed in and out of Chiaki's left nostril as she spoke. I'm not sure how from this side Minorikawa could see that. Okay, Minorikawa followed. And what's that? Well, I'm too embarrassed to say. Chiaki hid her face in her hands. Okay, never mind that then. Right now, you have a task that's been handed to you. You can't just say no. You can't do it. Oh shit, you're right, but I don't know. I feel like it's not. Like, she's not facing him enough to still see it. But but then he wouldn't know it's bobbing all the way back into her nose. If we like look at this logistically. Minorikawa tried to keep his tone calm. No magazine in the world is going to let a novice writer write about whatever they want. You have to prove yourself first. Get your fundamentals down. I already know all that. Minorikawa took the notebook from Chiaki's hands. What she is like. This is her day is like going from a 0 to a -1 right now. Hey, she squeaked. Wait, you've only talked to one person so far? There sure wasn't going to be a story in that. Yeah, well, not a person, actually. I said hey. Wait, what's this here? A cat? No, I mean, yes, there was a person in a cat costume. I thought since I couldn't see their face, it'd be easier to ask them stuff. Fine, whatever. Now get back here, out there and get me some more. Minorikawa steered Chiaki toward the passing crowd. What? Now? Yes, now. You've got no time to waste. I'll even stand by and watch for a minute. Now get enough with excuses and get out of there. You know, honestly, the girl on the left looks like she does enjoy killing. Minorikawa looked on as Chiaki wandered through the crowd. Her anxious demeanour seemed to repel everyone around her. On the rare chance you did manage to flag someone down, the way she stammered through her initial questions made them take right off again. After a minute or two, she shuffled her way back, shoulders slumped. See, it's hopeless. Okay, some advice. First off, you aren't approaching the right people. Some people are clearly in a rush, you know? You're not going to have much luck trying to flag down a businessman who's visibly in a hurry. Now, folks who are waiting on someone, couples, groups, they're going to be less on their guard. But, I mean, if I do manage to nab someone, how do I keep the conversation going? Sharky asked. That was indeed the tricky part. Whenever I get an answer I'm not expecting, I get all flustered. Wait, sorry, shit! I'm not reading it again. Sharky, have you ever played tennis? Tennis? Well, yeah, when I was in my school's tennis club. She struck Minorikawa as being more the manga club type, but that was neither here nor there. Okay, this will make it simpler. What's more fun, rallying with an opponent or hitting a ball off the wall? Rallying with someone else, of course? Minorikawa gave a hearty nod. And why's that? Because when you hit the ball off the wall, you already know what it's going to come back to. I don't know if you've played Danganronpa, but she literally shares her name with the Ultimate Gamer. Yeah, this game is like, even outside of the presentation, it is a very strange game. Revelation dawned on Chiaki's face. Oh. And like all the characters are very just bonkers. It's the same with interviews, Minorikawa said. Don't get flustered, enjoy the rally. But I don't think I'm composed enough to enjoy it. Don't overthink things. Just let yourself enjoy the small talk. Small talk. Oh, I'm sure I'm not any good at that. She was starting to waffle again. Okay, let me answer this, Minorikawa said, taking a step closer. I mean, the vague context is that Minorikawa, the guy who is speaking faster, is a reporter for like a sort of trashy new publication, and he needs to get in a certain amount of articles to beat a deadline, and if he doesn't do that, his boss is going to kill himself because he's riddled with debt. And this woman here is someone who also works for it, and he's trying to get her to do some interviews on the street, but she is very nervous and shy, so she is unable to do this, and he's trying to cheer her up. That is about like a very small fraction of everything that's going on in this game. Okay, so see ya. I will probably be streaming this tomorrow because I need to make sure I'm streaming on the 28th of the 4th everywhere. I'm not happy with my life right now, no, Chiaki muttered. She hung her head in dismay. Okay, start with that, Minorikawa said. Huh? Chiaki blinked a few times as she lifted her head back up. Wait. I'm not happy with my life right now, but what about you? Like that. Oh, okay. A sliver of liveliness had crept back into Chiaki's voice. Also, like, this is one of the more, like, tame sides of the story, because, like, elsewhere we've got, like, espionage going on, we've got a kidnapping case, we've got, someone who's trying to, like, test, like, germ warfare, and we've also got someone in a cat costume. Minorikawa jabbed his finger right in her face. Right there, he said. Put on that face when you flag people down. Chiaki's smile widened. I'll give it a shot. Thank you so much. Sure thing, good luck. Chiaki strode enthusiastically into the crowd and tried to flag down a Westerner who was walking hurriedly past. I recognize this guy. Did you even listen to a word I said? Minorikawa felt his short-lived triumph melt away. Am I just going to have to teach her everything again from scratch? Then he paused in surprise. Hold on. Okay, good. What? Chiaki had snared the man by the arm in an attempt to get him to stop. To Minorikawa's amazement, the gambit worked. Before long, it looked like the two of them were engaged in some kind of animated conversation. Maybe she would get an interview out of him after all. Heck, the look on her face was actually somewhat confident. Sometimes people could surprise you once you got past their service issues. Now Minorikawa could head to the Burning Hammer sales demo with a little more peace of mind. Speaking of which... Crap, what time it was? In a panic, Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. Think about this wristwatch. That will tell you how you think about the opposite sex and whatnot. Wow. So that's why you don't like the watch waiting, because you don't think that greatly of the opposite sex either. The demo was set to start in less than 5 minutes. Uh-oh. He really was cutting it close. Minorikawa sprinted through the intersection, heading for center guy. Alright, that's 3 of them done. I want to get them all done tonight. I'm not sure how I'll go. But I believe there was the trigger to go to Tama right here. Wait. Ugh. What should I do? Where could the truck that took the Birmingham hammer possibly have gone? I'm standing there racking my brain when I hear a voice call out from behind me. Excuse me. Are you, happy with your life right now? I turn to see a woman holding a notebook. Huh? Just sorry. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? I do not have the time for this right now. I'm more than a little busy. Oh no, I mean, I understand if you can't. She's giving me this hyper-intensive stare. I can't tell if she's trying to be intimidating or if she's actually afraid of me. Something about her is definitely off. Way too jittery and suspicious for my liking. Whatever she wants, I'd rather not get involved. I'm actually busy, I say. I mean, just real quick. No worries. It'd be a huge help, please. Don't worry, like, by the time you've gotten back, I'll probably have only read 2 of Chiaki's lines. But... Please, I really... Please... She bows so many times, she looks like one of those drinking birds. A toy bird that functions by means of a simple heat engine mechanism, causing it to continually dip its head into liquid and then rise back up, sometimes falsely claimed to be a type of perpetual motion device, once a common sight in offices world over. I mean, I better do the bad ending first. This girl is kind of creeping me out. I decide to ignore her and move along. She refuses to back down, however. Looks like there is no bad ending. Hey, please. She's begging out right now. She's got tears in her eyes. I really am super busy. Just one, please, can you answer just one question? People are shooting some weird looks as they walk by. Maybe it would be simple to just ask her a question, answer her question, then I'll get out of here as quick as I can. Oh, alright, go ahead, I say. Oh, alright, so... Are you, happy with your life, right, meow? Well, right, meow, as you can see, I am a cat. Oh, a cat, yes, I see, a cat, so, yeah, I'll put down cat. She just writes the word cat in her notepad. Okay, thanks so much. Sure, I murmur. Later. I head off in search of the burning hammer once more. No matter where I wander though, I don't spot the truck anywhere. Now there's only 15 minutes before the demo's supposed to start. I better make my way back to the venue. Maybe Cheery had some better luck in her search. Thank you, I forgot her name. Back at the break room, I'm met by Mr. Yanagishita, who positively radiates despair. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That is an animation. Did you find it? I'm sorry. I tried. Yanagishita's shoulders slump further at my response. Have you heard from Shiri? I ask. No, nothing yet. I guess she's our last hope. All of a sudden, Mr. Yanagishita holds up a pendant. The situation's rough. I'd like you to wear this. It's a miracle stone, like the one I saw back in the storeroom earlier. This ought to kick your luck up a notch. Now I see that Yanagishita is wearing another miracle stone around his own neck. Using one of the bit of sham merchandise to help find another. Nice. This is the pinnacle of pitiful. That's what this is. Hurry up! Put it on! Before the luck runs out! Mr. Yanagishita's eyes are all bloodshot. Something tells me that refusing his request wouldn't be wise right now. After a moment's hesitation, I take hold of the pendant. The stone is blue and glittery. Is that Cheery? Mr. Yanagishita squeaks. He whips out his phone. Thank goodness it's just his phone. No, sorry, he mutters after listening for a moment. I think you have the wrong number. Guess it isn't Cheery after all. Okay. And yet he stays on the line. Huh? Really? His tone suddenly does a complete 180. Yes, please. Thank you so much. As soon as he hangs up, Mr. Yanagishita strikes a victory pose. It's a miracle! Burning Hammer is back, baby! The recycling guy realizes a mix-up and returns the boxes to the loading dock. Whoa, for real? You girls did great. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. I've never seen someone so close to literally jumping from joy. This is amazing. I'm gonna go prep the demo room. Tama, you bring the burning hammer inside. With that, Mr. Yanagishita practically flies out of the room. No way, I murmur to myself. This thing didn't actually work, did it? I examine the miracle stone more closely. It just looks like a kind of toy jewellery. I wish I could actually get paid my 20,000 yen. Hey, it's worth a shot. With the miracle stone still clutched in my hand, I hurry out to the loading dock. I brace myself before actually stepping out the door. It's not there! Where is it? I look and I look. I see no sign whatsoever of any burning hammer. In a panic, I call the recycling guy. Well, I definitely returned it to the loading dock. I can assure you of that. If you're telling me it's not there right now, unfortunately that isn't my responsibility. He hangs up. Didn't even sound like he cared. I look around a little more, but to no avail. Yeah, it's definitely not here. Did someone else take it, maybe? As I hang my head in dismay, a middle-aged man in a sanitation uniform passes by, holding a garbage bag. Is that guy from before? He flashes me a curious look. What do we do, Tama? Mr. Yanagishita freaks out when he hears the burning hammer's missing. Please, you gotta give me something. I'm not really sure, sir. Now my boss is even bigger wreck than he was before. This job is toast. Any money I was going to get paid is up in smoke. Just like all my hopes and dreams at this point. I guess maybe we could try selling anagotchis or something. It's not much of a suggestion, but it's all I got. Mr. Yanagishita looks at me intently. Wait, what did you just say? Huh? What did you just say? Or something? No, before that. I guess maybe we could try selling the Anagotchis. I can almost see the wheels turning in his head as the smile slowly creeps back in his face. That's it. That's it. That's it. Hey, waiting. In the time you were gone, Chiaki held a very short interview with Tama, who just said she's a cat. Mr. Yanagishi apparently got called by the delivery man, who said that he realized he stole the burning hammer, so he brought them back. But then when Tama went to get the burning hammer, it was not there. So now it has suggested selling the Anagotchis instead at the press conference. I'm certain I see an actual gleam in his eyes. No worries. You're not the first person to say that. It's very convoluted, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. Right then, I guess it's our only real option. Oh wait, this is a sign. That burning hammer didn't just vanish by coincidence. Oh no. He jolts to his feet, his eyes still positively aglow. Alright, see you later, Anagotchis. We're about to knock you right out of the park. And also, I just finished a Zachtronics game today, so I need something chill to play alongside it. I probably don't need to tell you how the event goes down. We don't manage to sell even a single Anagotchi. Turns out, hey, people are really creeped out by eels, and our customers have no problem letting us know that very politely, impolitely I might add, as they storm away in a huff. I don't think Effie has told me about that. What is the situation with that? But Jiri said she liked eels so broiled in sushi. I hear Mr. Yanagishi mutter to himself as I get ready to leave. If only we hadn't lost the burning hammer, things would have gone so much differently. Oh no, maybe they've gone pretty much the same. You know, I probably should have listened to my gut earlier. Agreeing to take on this job has brought me nothing but trouble. Wait. I know who steps are, for the record. This is going places. So would you say that like Cher was like some sort of boot scooting baby who was driving Angelina Jolie crazy? Nobody is going to have any luck selling digital pets to customers who are looking for a health food demo. But why did the burning hammer disappear anyway? Oh shit, I think I know why. Well, that sanitation worker Thomas saw had found another pile of trash to dispose of. Sometime close to 12:40, someone winds up breaking the bottles, turning them to useless garbage. But who is that someone, and what can they do differently? Wait a minute. I feel like it's this. So I hate to say it, but we have to leave the forklift alone. This guy would just not give up. It's actually really hard to do Archie's voice after having done Mr. I've forgotten his name now. Because they're like kind of, he's like the less extreme version, but I'm not ready for his voice now. At the far end of the alley, you could see a forklift parked beside a pile of boxes. Yanagishi, something like that. I actually decided to, I actually snatched up the nearest box, turned and threw it at the man with the cane. The box was filled with something heavy. This ought to do some damage. He watched with satisfaction as it struck the assassin in the face. The man staggered sideways. Here, have another. One by one, Archie hurled every box in the pile. I feel like this is breaking them, and one for the road. The last box wasn't properly sealed. It broke open as it struck their pursuer, sending several bottles flying. They shouted as they crashed to the street, splashing red liquid. That looks like burning hammer. The assassin dropped to one knee, scrubbing his face with his hand. Archie looked on in surprise. He couldn't possibly have hit the guy that hard. Peering the man more closely, he saw he was splattered in red liquid. Apparently the stuff in the bottles had gotten in his eyes. Oh shit, he's dead now. Now's our chance! Archie took off with Hitomi, leaving the pursuer kneeling in the alleyway. So I swear I just made things worse. But apparently not? Alright, now I'm confused. Unless maybe that's part of it anyway, and like something else happens. I wish that I actually get paid my 20,000 yen. Hey, it's worth a shot. With the miracle stone still clutched in my hand, I hurry out to the loading dock. I brace myself before actually stepping out the door. It's there! It's really there! The cardboard boxes are scattered all around outside. Wait, scattered all around? What happened to them? I suddenly have a very bad feeling about this. Apprehension gnaws at me as I open up one of the boxes. No! I shriek and my vision dims. This does not seem like an improvement. The box is full of bottles of burning hammer, all of them smashed to pieces. Nice shot though. Oh, really? So it's just Kano now. So apparently it's Minorikawa's fault. Wait a minute. Sorry. But I swear doing this ruins it for him? I don't know. Unless it was like the other... No, actually, now that I think about it, it was Chiaki that ruined his day. We continue. The detectives had to hurry to catch up with the man they were tailing. He was still strolling along, seemingly in no particular hurry. They kept him in sight as they crossed another pedestrian overpass and circled back around. Still following the same MO, huh? Sasayama grumbled. Guess so, Kano said. How things go with the girl? He was careful not to take his eyes off the mark as he talked. You were right. She's not part of this. Just one of those street evangelists or something. Oh yeah? Yeah, she kept asking me, but are you really happy with your life? Wig me out. I bailed out there real quick. So, Sasayama, I'm thinking about the attaché case. Is it gonna get... Here we go. If I recall correctly too, like, 2 people affected, like, this whole exchange. The two detectives took up position on opposite sides of the plaza. But I haven't actually seen that guy today, really. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. You ready, he asked? Just give me the word. There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place. And then, for a reminder, Kano and Sasayama are tracking a briefcase which has the ransom money, and they've had the idea that they're going to tackle both the receiver and giver of the briefcase at the same time or something. And then, well, if it isn't Mr. Toyama. Kano's ears perked up at the sound of an aggressive greeting, the voice dripping with a faint cheer. Except they're still here, so we're gonna lose. He whirled around to see two rough-looking young... I feel like... I just have to skip through this because I've already done this. I just need to check what it said. Because I don't really remember having any options to really interact with these two. Like, Tama headbutts him, but that's about it. I don't know. But once again, I feel like his chapter is going to end on a cliffhanger and we're going to really see what happens with this. Keeps happening. Kano was taken off the case because he lost track of the suspect thanks to a random altercation nearby, and the glum conclusion was correct. If that father dude hadn't shown up, this wouldn't happen. A certain someone needs to give those two some better advice, and a certain other someone needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Both those are the key to changing poor Kano's fate. When do we do that? So what's Archie's first option? Archie knew she had a point. He just started to back off. Just then, a bit of light shone out from the alleyway from above. It looked like someone on the adjacent building's other floor had turned on the lights. Likely to fix a toilet. The light illuminated Sammy's face when... Is that... Nothing happens? What was the second decision? Maybe this. One of them cackled like a grinning idiot. Archie, Archie, Archie. Archie felt his anger boil. There was too much at stake. He had to just suck it up and ignore them for the time being. Gritting those teeth, he tried to slip past them, but the largest of the three grabbed him by the collar. You ran out, man. Susumu's the one who runs this town now. You got no right to keep acting like you're the boss of us. He shoved Archie up against the wall. Says who? Archie asked. Susumu? Say what now? Did Susumu say I've got no right to act like the boss? Bitch please, Susumu ain't got time to worry about your sorry ass. Ah, is that so? Well, this is very different. Archie's fist flashed out. He dropped to the floor with a dull thud. So tell System of this. Everyone in Shibuya just needs to play nice and have fun. Archie kept his tone light and jovial, but he eyed the two toughs like a hawk eyeing its prey. Is he gonna be alright? Yeah, okay. That's still the same. We know that decision doesn't matter here. Haven't really looked at these options. Tanaka followed his drift. Ah yes, I see what you mean. He inclined his head and thought, so Osawa continued. I think that man is Makino? I could be wrong. We'll just have to ask Makino in person. The fact was that the antiviral had been used for clinical testing. Even Makino had taken it from the laboratory personally, or someone working in his orders had done so. But how? Was there really some way they could have bypassed lab security without knowing? Osawa couldn't think about how it could be possible. The living room door opened with a soft creak. It was Kajiwara, and he looked stiff and pale. Something terrible has happened, he said. Visions of tragedy. It's still the same. That doesn't seem right then. But I'm running out of options as well. I'll just keep with Kano's and see what the other things bring me. I mean, not Kano. Osawa. Let's check the entry logs for the storage section. Anyone who wanted to get inside had to present their ID card to the security guard on duty. It should be possible to check the computer logs to see if there'd been any suspicious activity in the behavior. Tanaka shook his head. I already checked the logs, sir. There was no evidence of anything suspicious. You're welcome to check yourself, though, if you're that worried. No, I believe you. Yet the fact was the antiviral had been used for clinical testing. Even Makino had taken it from the laboratory personally, or someone working his orders had done so. But how? Was there really some way they could have bypassed lab security without anyone knowing? So I couldn't think of how it could be possible. It's the same, isn't it? Yep. Let's go to his next decision. Hey, come on, knock it off. Osawa lifted the plunger like a weapon. Quiet, Tanaka shouted again, taking out his cell phone. Here, take a look at this. Huh? Osawa could never have anticipated what he saw on the LCD screen. Yep, that one's still the same. Look, if you want to talk, we can do it up there. Osawa shoved Tanaka out of the bathroom. Hey, hold on. Wait. With Osawa still pushing against his back, Tanaka reached his suit pocket and fished out his cell phone. Game, please. I feel like this is going to be the same as well. Now would you please leave me alone? He got up to leave the study. Sir, hold on. There's something I want to give you. Kajiwara reached in his pocket. I don't need a damn banana. Osawa fled the room. He needed to be alone, if only for a few minutes. But even if he could somehow shake Kajiwara, the other detectives had eyes all over his house. He'd reached the limit of his patience. He couldn't think straight anymore. He headed to the back door, trying to avoid the police. Opening the door quietly, he slipped across the yard and out through the back fence. He didn't want to venture too far from the house. He found a tiny alley and took cover there, thankful for a few minutes for himself at last. Hadn't been there long when he caught the sight of a man and a young woman. Here we go! A father and a daughter running past on the main road. It looked as if they were running from something. The man flashed a look back over his shoulder, and then took his daughter by the hand and pulled her off the road. They crouched behind some bushes hiding. As he looked around, wild-eyed, he spotted Osawa watching him from the alleyway. This also means that he never finds out about his plane ticket? He spotted Osawa watching him from the alleyway. Help! The man called out. Help me! Please. If these guys catch me, I'll... Oh. The father's eyes went wide when he got a look at Osawa's face. You're... Huh? Osawa thought he recognized this fugitive too, although he couldn't remember from where. There are some real nasty guys after us, the man said. I know I have no right to ask this, but please at least keep my daughters safe. Probably you should go to the police if... No! They won't be able to help you with this. Please, I'm begging you, help me. I'm sorry, but... Please, if not me, then please for my daughter, the man pleaded. Osawa looked down at the girl. Unlike her father, she was calm and reserved. But on the surface, she was calm and ready. She reminded him of Maria, just a little bit. I think this is the wrong decision. Osawa decided to hurry and call the police. His first thought was to alert one of the detectives in his home, but now was no time to interfere with the investigation. Look, I'm calling the police, he said. He took his cell phone from his pocket. No, don't, please. I'm guessing this won't matter. I just need somewhere safe right now. I'm not sure what else I could possibly do. Well, nothing, I guess. Never mind. I understand. The man bowed quickly to Osawa and then grabbed his daughter by the hand and ran off. The two had just rounded the corner when a pair of thuggish-looking men came running from the other side of the street. You there, said the man in the sunglasses. You see a guy and his daughter around here? Teru Toyama and his daughter, Hana. They've come to Shoto while running from loan sharks. Just moments ago, Toyama was on the phone with Minorikawa. Hang on. Yeah. They should have come by this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. Osawa feigned ignorance. Don't think so, no. Come on, you Taro, let's go, said the older man. Right, replied the other. Two men dashed off in the direction of the father and daughter had gone. Osawa watched until the two men were gone, then headed back inside the house. Maybe by now, Kajiwara would be willing to oblige him to get out of his room. Osawa groaned inwardly when he got back to his study. You're still here? Yes, sir. I was told to keep my eyes on you after all. Believe me, it shows. Mr. Osawa, if you're going to go outside, I'd appreciate if you let me know first. What? Had Kajiwara realized he snuck out of the house? But more importantly, Kajiwara reached back into his suit pocket. Here we go. Okay. I've been meaning to give this to you. He held out a small plastic bag. Inside was a scrap of paper of some sort. What's that? Osawa asked. This is what was clogging the toilet, sir. With some hesitation, Osawa took hold of the bag. Huh? That's... Yep, okay. Now let's do this right. Osawa couldn't just stand idly by. He decided to help them evade their pursuers. Alright, follow me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. He led the two back to his house and enters the storage shed out back. You can lay low here for a while if you like, he said. The shed was fairly large. There was plenty of space for the man and his daughter. I'm so sorry, the man said. I'm not sure how I could possibly thank you. Don't worry, Osawa said. Don't worry. Osawa closed the shed door and headed back out to take a look around by Link Biscuit. Two thuggish-looking men came running up to him. No doubt, these were the people the father and daughter were running from. You there, said the guy in the sunglasses. You see yep. The guy and his daughter around here? They should come this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. A man and his daughter? Ah, yes, I think I saw them run through here. Which way'd they go? That way. Sweet, we almost got them. The pair sped away. We saw them wait until they're fully out of sight and then called out to the shed. Alright, they're gone. The door stayed closed, however. I'm really sorry, the man called out from inside. Those guys might come back this way. Is it okay if we hide out here a little bit longer? He sounded desperate. Pitiful, really. Sure, go ahead, Osawa said. With that, he headed back inside. Evidently, he just wasn't going to get any time alone today, no matter where he went. Alright. And now, I'm going to think Tama interacts with them. Wait, so... This was at 12:35, so it has to be after that. Oh, maybe it's this. They literally call it a pincer attack. This is Dynasty Warriors. The two detectives took up position at opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called Sasayama on his cell phone. You ready? He asked. Just give the word. They were the only two non-Japanese people. Yep. Kano was certain the handles were about to take place, and sure enough, the second man approached the one holding the attaché case. After exchanging a scant handful of words, he took the case and walked off. Sasayama. I'll handle the guy with the case. Got it. Sasayama broke into a run, chasing after the man who'd taken the ransom. Kano hung his phone and rushed to close the distance with the other man. You, there, stop where you are. The suspect turned, and Kano recognized his face. It was indeed a member of the foreign crime syndicate that operated in Shibuya. Is the hostage safe? Kano demanded. The man's only response was an unsettling grin. Answer me. But though he repeated the question, the man remained silent. Kano checked in with Sasayama, which seems incredibly stupid to do, so it must be the worst thing to do. I've got the suspect in custody, he said. How's your end? Sasayama hesitated. He got away from me. What about the attaché case? I'm sorry, but he's still got to be around here somewhere. I'm gonna look around some more. Sasayama hung up, and Kano slipped his phone back in his pocket. As he did, the man pulled a knife from his breast pocket and swung it right at Kano's face. Kano managed to jerk away in time, but his momentum carried too far backwards and he sprawled onto the pavement. Damn! The suspect was already making a run for it. Suddenly, a large car of foreign make skidded to a halt, blocking off the man's escape route. A tall Caucasian man jumped out. He was wearing sunglasses and a crisp suit. Now cornered, the fleeing suspect brandished his knife. Be careful! But Kano didn't even get time to finish shouting his warning. There was a metallic poing, and the knife went flying through the air. The man in the sunglasses had snapped his right foot up, sending the weapon flying. As the attacker's jaw dropped in astonishment, the newcomer proceeded to elbow him right in the face. I have no idea what's going on, actually. The blow connected and the suspect went down hard. Oh. The fallen man turned his head to look at Kano. His mouth moved as if he was attempting to say something. He never got it out. The man in the sunglasses kicked him in the face. With a groan, the perp slumped down unconscious. Hey, Kano snapped. What the hell are you doing? He stormed over to the man in the sunglasses. The man nonchalantly dusted off his suit. You were ordered to watch and see where these guys went, right? He spoke in fluent Japanese. Imagine you were a Japanese person who's never been in a situation where you suddenly had to speak to a foreigner. You haven't used English in ages. Your tension grows. You think back to your English class in school, but nothing you remember is helpful. You muster up the courage to choke out a stammer. Do you? And the foreigner responds fluently in your own language. Nihongo de daijoubu desu. It's alright. I speak Japanese. That doesn't seem very fluent to me. That's very basic. I could say that. What happened to that Japanese sense of humor I've heard so much about? Who are you? I'm from the US Embassy's Regional Security Office, the man replied. An embassy is where ambassadors from a foreign country lodge and conduct much of their official diplomatic business. Under international law, ambassadors are guaranteed diplomatic immunity, and the embassy grounds are considered territory of the home nation. The US Embassy's Regional Security Office is responsible for the security of the American diplomatic facilities and personnel, and provides American citizens in Japan with information on public order. It is located in Akasaka, in the Minato ward of Tokyo metropolis. He presented Kano with his ID. Jack Stanley. His title was listed as Security Assistance Officer. Kano glanced at the card he'd been shown. The license plate was blue with white lettering. The license plate said fresh and had dice in the mirror. With the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but the ministry wouldn't just send a diplomat to intervene in a police investigation. What's your name, detective? Stanley asked. Kano, from the Shibuya precinct. Alright, Kano. I'm going to need you to follow my instruction for the next while. Why's that? Instead of answering, Stanley took out his cell phone and made a quick call. After a few moments, he held the phone out for Kano. Here, permission from your boss, he said. What? Kano squawked. He took out the phone gingerly, bracing himself. Kano speaking. You imbecile! What the hell are you thinking? It was Kuze, and he was furious. Understandably so, really. Kano had disobeyed a direct order, and for what? All he'd accomplished was losing track of the attaché case. I'm sorry, sir. You really think sorry is going to cut it? You're off the force, Kano! Kano slumped, defeated. He had no reply. He knew he deserved whatever punishment he got. Still, orders from up top didn't trump the hostage's safety. If he could have gone back and done it all again, he was sure to make the same call. Maybe that meant he wasn't detective material, but so be it. That's what I want to tell you, Kuze continued. But for now, I need you to follow the instructions of the guy there, Stanley, whatever he tells you. Sir? Kano hadn't seen that one coming. He disobeyed orders, that was undeniable. And yes, he knew he deserved a reprimand, but being ordered to tag along with a stranger who just turned up out of the blue? What the heck? May I ask why the US Embassy is involved with all this? No more questions, Kano. Step in line. Please, just hold on, sir. I have no idea what's going on here. Kuze let an exasperated sigh. That makes two of us, kid. And with that, the director hung up. It sounded even Kuze didn't have the whole story here, which meant that orders were coming from someplace higher. A foreign syndicate moving the ransom around the US Embassy. Whatever was going on, it was more than a local kidnapping case, and Kano was deep in the middle of it. He handed the phone back to Stanley. A few moments later, two detectives from the MPD arrived on the scene. Stanley handed over the fallen criminal to them. You're chasing a bum lead, you know, Stanley said as he watched them carry the man away. What do you mean? Kano asked. I mean this kidnapping isn't about the money. My priority is the girl's safety. Right now, your priority is doing what I tell you to do. Kano gave him a scowl, but Stanley ignored it. That guy we just arrested, he asked. He tell you anything? No, nothing, Kano said. Really now? All trace of emotion drained from Stanley's eyes. His gaze pierced Kano's like icy daggers. He held a glimmer of something dangerous. Something Kano had seen plenty of times since he joined the force. He wasn't looking into the eyes of some diplomatic liaison. No. This was a man who knew how to kill. Who'd killed people before. With some effort, Kano managed to regather his sense of professionalism. I guess he's finished kindergarten then. He didn't tell me anything, he repeated. I just know he's a member of some foreign crime syndicate that works out of Shibuya. I probably know some of their hangouts. Show me, Stanley said, cool as an automaton. We'll take my car. It has air conditioning. Kano wiped away some of the sweat that beaded his brow, and they headed for the vehicle. He was just sliding into the passenger seat, trying to holler at me, when Kuze radioed over the wireless. Okie dokie, folks, listen up. The childish tone was back in his full force. Kano stiffened in reflex. He knew what that meant. So, Hitomi Hisawa has, gone missing. What? Hitomi couldn't believe his ears, even though he knew that she'd gone missing 2 hours ago. Wasn't Hatano supposed to be protecting her right now? Also, Detective Tatano hasn't radioed in, and like we can't reach him from our end either. No way. Can I blurt that? It can't be. See ya. Kuzo continued. He might have got caught up in this incident too. It wasn't like a detective of Tatano's stature would go incommunicado during an investigation. It could only mean that something had happened to him. Something major. Wonder what would happen to affect the handcuffs. Oh, so that's everyone, so we're going to get a new chapter and I'm going to look away from the screen in a moment. Yep. So, before I like stop and all that shit, I want to see what happens in this other choice. If anything. Because I did pretty much every other choice. But though we repeated the question, the man remained silent. Kano took out a pair of handcuffs and reached for the suspect's wrists. Equipment used by police offers to shackle suspects. In Japan, the belt that makes up part of the officer's duty has a storage pouch for a pair of handcuffs. The man pulled a knife from his breast pocket and swung it right around Kano's face. Kano managed to jerk it away in time, but his momentum carried him too far forward and he sprawled into the paper. Damn! Suspect was okay, so it was the same. Wait, but it doesn't have a to be continued, so it's different. This still seems the same to me, but it's gonna be different. It still seems the same to me. Oh wait, now it's different. How are things at your end, Kano? I have the suspect in custody. How about you? Sasayama hesitated. He got away from me. What about the attaché case? I'm sorry, it's still gotta be around here somewhere. I'm gonna look around some more. Sasayama hung up. Alright. Now it's the same. And we'll get to explore all these crazy new timelines next time I play this game. Wait. How do I... Can I just like, go back to the menu here? Yeah, so in accordance with the with 4//28 hype, I should likely be streaming this game again tomorrow, and we'll dive further into this nonsensical interlocking story. But until then, I have to go to bed and all that. So, thank you anyone who's watching live, anyone who's watching a VOD. I hope you have a good day, morning, afternoon, night, etc, etc, etc. And I would love to see you next time. Goodbye.